Welcome to Lapeef, Let's Talk. Introduce the squad. We got Courtney. We got Anton. We got Kay. Chicago Rilla. Me, myself, I'm J.I. Welcome to Lapeef, Let's Talk. Welcome. How you guys doing?
Great.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
How you doing, Kay? I think you might be on mute.
I am doing great. Thank you for asking.
Doing great. Real, I see you.
Yeah,
I see you got that gangster lean.
man. Left.
He's showing up, pocket. I see you.
Yeah, man.
Hold on. Let me not break it. I gotta go out. I want to get moved on.
Man, that man got that Buick lean. That
Come on with the laugh.
All right, y'all. Y'all feeling good? How was y'all week? It was good.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of quiet this week, or was it still live?
Man, definitely in the Facebook group, it's always live. In real life, it was chill. Facebook group is gladiator school.
Oh, that Facebook group. Can't wait to talk about it.
Black Titan, definitely appreciate the super chat. That's what's up. Salute to you. Make sure you guys get these shares up right now. These likes up. I'm sorry. Get these likes up. Make sure you guys share. The show is about to start. It's going to be a great one.
Happy belated, Anton.
Oh, you did have a birthday.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate it.
What's that, 27?
21.
39.
Yeah. All right, let's get this show started. First topic of the night. Make it make sense. Respect your circle and pointing the finger. Make it make sense. Respect your circle and pointing the finger. We're going to start off with respect. Respect. We have a lot of people that seem to want respect or claim that they don't get any respect in this world. I'm going to go around the panel and ask you guys, what does respect mean to you? I'm going to start with you, Kay. Respect.
Respect to me is just being nice, listening to what I have to say, showing me basic courtesy, and I feel like that should be the default when you meet someone, until they prove they don't deserve it. So treat everyone with respect at first, at least.
I don't know if I like that definition. It was a little dry. Chicago
Give us a
Rilla.
good.
Chicago Rilla. I'm gonna come back to you. I'm gonna give you another chance. Chicago Rilla. Respect. What does respect mean to you?
Yeah, man. I think I think respect is the one I think is earned. But I think, to Kay's point also, when you meet somebody off top, the default should be respect until somebody proves otherwise. But it's addressing people cordially. It's I don't know. For me, I'm really thinking about it now, and you can't define a word with that same root word. But I know in different like for men, it means one thing, and for women, it may not mean that same thing. But I think that respecting somebody is not necessarily understanding or agreeing with their opinion, but just having that common courtesy, man. Like not being adverse and opposition to somebody off rip, at least giving them the benefit of the doubt and approaching them with good faith and believing the best intent first, and then moving accordingly from there.
Okay, is respect earned?
Like Chicago was saying, I feel like it should be given at first, and then you show that you still deserve it over time. I think the default should be to respect people. So no, but I said you have to work to keep it. I guess I could say it like that.
Courtney, respect. Define respect, what it means to you.
I think respect is earned. I think that I can see you and talk to you. Doesn't necessarily mean I respect you. I don't know you to give you that admiration of respect. I think with respect, it doesn't necessarily mean that you agree or align with that person, but because that person holds himself accountable, are coming in it with good intent and are very consistent, that is someone that I definitely respect. I don't have to necessarily agree with you, but if I know that you're coming in good faith and honest, willing to learn, those are traits that I feel like those of a person that I respect. But no, it has to be definitely earned. I have to know you a little bit more where you're coming from for me to respect your opinion. I need to understand that you're not coming, ill will or trying to be, out of good faith. I have to understand that. So no, I definitely think respect is earned. And it doesn't mean that I agree with you, but I respect your opinion because you're thoughtful of it and put in work to come up with your opinion.
Anton, respect. What does that mean to you?
I don't know. It don't really mean nothing to me, to be honest with you, bro. Like I don't really care about what people think. I don't care about people enough to acknowledge them. Like it is what it is. The situation just is what it is. I just think that whole word respect, in a context that society uses it to a larger extent, is just a way for people to acknowledge others in a way. But in the grand scheme of things, when we're really getting down to brass tacks, and I think that as you get older, and I kind of relate it to older people in that older people, as they age, they care less and less about what other people think. They care less and less about the respect that they received and all of that. So I think that younger and more ignorant people are hung up on the idea of needing to be respected. Whereas, as you age and as you really become and live in your purpose, it has no bearing on anything whatsoever for me at all. Not even a little bit.
Hey, hold up real quick. I want to push back on that a little bit.
What?
Yeah, I do. So I went and got the cheat code, right? So I'm gonna go by what the dictionary definition is of respect, and then I would push back on Anton if you agree or disagree, or if that changes your opinion. Probably already know the answer, but it goes. It's a noun, and it's a feeling of deep admiration for someone or something elicited by their abilities, qualities, or achievements. The second definition is due regard for the feelings, wishes, rights, or traditions of others.
So what's the question?
So in light of that,
What's the pushback? What's the pushback?
so when you say you're like, yo, that doesn't mean anything to me. Like, you just celebrated your born day again, happy belated. But with age comes wisdom and life experience and all those things. And so I'm just kind of taken aback that you would say, respect doesn't mean anything to me. It is what it is. Like you take it kind of lighthearted. Not that you don't give it.
Yeah, because it requires participation from other people. And I don't need anything from anybody, whether it be your respect, whether it be your acknowledgement. I mean, if you do, you do. If you don't, it don't. But the show moves forward regardless. You know what I'm saying? So I don't necessarily need any kind of respect from anybody. Like when you went through that whole definition, the whole idea of it is admiration and all of these other things. Oh, okay, I can admire somebody. Whatever that is. But as far as respect needing to be validated by somebody respecting me per se, I don't need it whatsoever.
Yeah,
it don't mean nothing to me.
Yeah, but that's not that's not necessarily the definition, and that's not the way that I
okay, but okay, so since you want to go there, hold on.
One at a time, one at a time.
Hold on. Since you want to go there, is the dictionary absolutely accurate when it comes to the definition of friendship? What about love? What about all these different things? Because it's context to everything. And so you can't just go by the dictionary in order to evaluate and make an opinion or an assumption as to how it is that you can apply it to certain situations and circumstances. And that's why I gave the context of young people versus older people, and as you age, and the mentality of older people as they move forward. So the dictionary's definition of respect means nothing to me whatsoever.
Okay, cool. So the question is, and appreciate that context, but the question is, do you give respect? Because you're talking about needing to be validated by somebody giving respect to you, right? And to your point, or to answer your question regarding the dictionary and definitions, I don't know if we're doing that, but the dictionary, I think, is a good reference point when you're talking about meanings of words that we use every day. So you don't have to take it verbatim and literal, but it does serve as a good point of reference. If you're using,
but you're using it as the basis to push back, and I'm telling you that you can't, because the context matters. When you start adding context in any situation, especially as it relates to humans and their interaction with each other, the definition goes out the window, because then you start going into a rabbit hole based off the circumstances and the situation that you find yourself in. So you can't even use it as a point of reference, except to reference it back to the English language and saying that words mean things. But however, as soon as you start adding the context, it changes the definition of it, such as adding adjectives or anything around that whole word respect changes the definition of it, because the context matters. It doesn't mean anything to me. And to speak specifically to your point, I just treat people according to how they treat me. It just is what it is. Like, I don't have to show any kind of reverence to you as far as respect. If you a good dude, then I treat you good. If you a bad dude, then I remove myself from the situation. But I don't have to go through trying to figure out whether or not I respect anybody. It just is what it is. The situation is what it is for me.
Go ahead, Courtney. You had a question?
Yeah. So Anton and Chicago Rilla, how do you think or deal with disrespect? So I understand where you're like, you respect me or not or whatever, I'm still going to move the same. But dealing with the disrespect, do you think that you're still going to move the same way? Or do you feel like, as a man, I want to hold my home and you're not going to disrespect me?
No, I don't care nothing about that. I just remove myself from the situation. Like, I don't feel the need to prove myself when somebody, for example, disrespects me. You know what I'm saying? Because that's an ego thing. I know who I am. I'm confident in who I am. I move based off of my own circumstances and not based off of how other people do things. And that's just me not moving out of emotion and making decisions consciously and intentionally. But I don't care nothing about anybody's respect for me. I align myself with my tribe. And so the people that rock with me, I rock with them harder. and the people that don't, you let them go. But I'm not concerned about what the overwhelming majority of the population feels towards me. I just am what I am.
Okay.
I would say for me, I'm a little bit different. I understand what Anton is saying, and I agree with that in part. But you know, I didn't get to the age that I'm at, you know, being overly concerned with how what I define as disrespect. Right? Some situations I definitely have learned, like, yo, let it ride. You know what I'm saying? Walk away. You know, not, you know, be the bigger individual, whatever you want to call it. But you know, there are situations, and this is where context matters, because as a man, and you're right, you can say it's ego, you can say it's emotion, you can say whatever it is that you want to say it is, but I'm not cut from that. You're not disrespecting me, and we gonna handle it. And
that's good for you.
Yeah, no. I'm not casting aspersions your way, you know what I'm saying? Because I told you, you know, I learned, like when I was on your show, I said I learned something from you in the moment where a situation occurred on this show and somebody got out of character or out of pocket. And, you know, I admired the fact of the way you handled yourself, because that could have went a totally different way. And I said in that moment, it taught me something. However,
I'm talking about the situation with me and B Nix.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the perfect example.
Yeah.
So in that instance, B Nix very much in a lot of people's eyes disrespected me. I laughed it off.
Yeah.
It didn't mean anything to me. And I told him, I used those exact words. I said, bro, that don't even mean nothing to me.
Yeah.
And then I had a civil conversation without raising my voice. I solved the circumstance. I said it is what it is. And then now today, he came back and was like, you know what? You're right. I'm glad that you approached it that way, because it could have went left.
Yeah.
Right. And then we not best friends, but we dogs. Like, I talk to him pretty regularly. But again, I'm not caught up on the idea of somebody has to respect me. I move based off of what is conducive for me, and then I make adjustments accordingly. And 10 times out of 10, it always works out in my favor.
Yeah, and up what I'm saying, and I, you know, like I said, man, I'm still a work in progress. So it's you know, part of that mentality is the South Side in me. That's you know, nah, fam, we gonna have a conversation about it. And I'm not saying tough guy talk is gonna come to fisticuffs or whatever, but we definitely gonna have a conversation around respect and what I will and will not tolerate. That's, you know, that's just is what it is.
Okay. I want to move on to your circle. So often a lot of people have a circle, and within their circle, they have a lot of yes people. It's a huge problem because a lot of times people don't even know how to take criticism, or you know, how to understand no, or how to understand that they're wrong, because the people within that circle is just only telling them yes, just telling what they want to hear, just agree with them. I want to ask you guys, let's talk about the circle and the importance of what the circle does. I'm gonna start with you, Kay. Let's talk about the circle.
I think your circle is really important. I think that it has to be curated, and you want to have people that are not just creating an echo chamber, so that there can be some balance. People that you can trust, people that will tell you the truth, give you constructive criticisms. You know, even if it's hard, you know, you want people to be honest with you. If you messed up, or if you did something that was bogus or whatever, you want friends that can step up and tell you that. And you all don't have to have any type of beef about it after that. Like, okay, cool. And you can modify your behavior accordingly, or have a conversation with them. So I definitely think it's important to have people in your circle who can hold you accountable and call you out if you're doing something that, you know, maybe you didn't think was so bad, but it could be perceived that way.
Courtney, let's talk about the circle.
No, if you have, I'm sorry, Derek, but if you have a circle, I'm going to go back to what I said as far as how I feel about what respect is. So if I am a part of a circle or you're in my circle is because I respect you. Again, whether you have the same opinion as me, you're in my circle because I respect you. Therefore, you get access to me that no one else usually does. However, within that circle, I expect you to respect me as well. So if there's something that's happening, something you disagree with me or have a problem with, I would expect, because you're in my circle, you're in my intimate space, for you to come to me. And that has to do with respect. You respect the circle. You know, I know about you. You might know about my family, stuff that everyone doesn't get privy of. But because you're in that small space, then we're able to communicate offline. Everything doesn't have to be just posted or anything like that. Like, you can physically call me, come to my house, because you're in my circle. You're in my circle for a particular reason. So circles are important. You do need, you know, a group of people that you can talk to, piggyback on. Again, even if it's not the same ideas, I respect you enough to be in my circle, so respect me enough to keep it in circle.
Anton, let's talk about the circle.
It's the biggest thing that's hindering people from being successful, in my opinion. And success is not necessarily just related to financial, although I think that financial is a reflection of where you are in life a lot of times. But I think it's the biggest thing that prevents people from being successful, because most people are looking to be validated. They're not looking to hear the hard truth. And so when you surround yourself with people that validate you instead of actually have your best interests at heart, what you find is that you often are a reflection of them. And if you want to find out, and I say this regularly, what you really look like outside of looking in the mirror, especially internally, all you got to do is look at the people that you surround yourself with the most, the people that always hype you up. And I'm not talking about support. I'm talking about truth. I'm talking about people that's going to be honest with you, people that's actually looking to elevate and push you forward. And so when you find somebody's circle is often people that agree with them on a regular basis. And I'm not talking about disagreeing just to disagree or be combative, right? I'm talking about somebody that they see you going down a specific path and they refuse, just because they want to maintain the friendship or the idea behind the friendship, or they want to stay in your inner circle, and they unwilling to tell you the truth as a result of what it might turn into, and they paying attention to the long term instead of paying attention to what really matters. Those aren't your friends. So I think that that's the biggest thing hindering people. And if you go on any of these social media apps, a lot of times these likes, Clubhouse, everything, all these people that's in these echo chambers that's like, yeah, whatever, I just want to be a friend, or I support you, I rock with you, or I always often refer to these simps, dudes that validate women with bad behavior just to be on their radar. Your circle is going to keep you down and prevent you from being successful, whether that be in relationships, whether that be financially, your career, your household, all these type of things. It's one of the most toxic things that hold people down from being successful.
I definitely agree. I definitely agree with that one, because what people don't seem to understand is that you're not going to be able to grow because that circle is encouraging toxic behavior. Like, they're not going to be able to tell you, like, they only tell you when you're right. They never tell you when you're wrong. So if you have a circle like that, you might need to reevaluate your circle. Chicago Rella.
Yeah.
Circle.
Yep. So I'm approaching from a different aspect. And, again, I salute brothers. I salute brothers that move a particular type of way and, stand up on your own, 10 toes down. Now, for me, I look at, similar to what Kay was saying, you curate your circle, right? That means you in charge of it. So you step into it or you step away from it. But we all, well, most people are, social, and you connected in cipher type of way. So you got to curate and control that motion of what energies you allow in your space. Now, for me personally, it's important for me to, I align with like energy, but I also need energy in my cipher that opposes, like, the enemy to my plan, right? I don't roll with a whole bunch of yes men. The three dudes that I roll with specifically, we challenge each other, we push each other, we keep each other on our square. It's iron sharpens iron, right? And that's the only way you grow, develop, and get better. So for me, I have conversations with Democrats, Republicans, Christians, atheists. I learn from it all. I absorb it all. You know, you can't grow as a man and as a human being, being fully human, without having that. If you in an echo chamber all the time and everything is, oh, you're great, you're dope, man, whoop de whoop, blah blah blah. It's cats in my cipher that called me. I was like, yo, bro, like, I hear what you were saying, but you was tripping that last show, bro. Like, or man, I know where you was headed, but man, come on, dog. Like, we talk about these things. That's not the move. And so having those type of people in my cipher, it keeps me on my square. Even so much as, think about it from a relationship standpoint, right? You know, some of my bros that want to, you know, step out, do whatever it is that they want to do. One of my guys the other day was like, man, I appreciate you in my cipher because my man's was entertaining, you know, other situations outside of his marriage. Right? Cut it out.
Bro, you probably should stop right there. You might be saying too much, man.
Not at all, because nobody knows who I'm talking about. So, but I appreciate I appreciate the effort, and he may be watching, but he and I had a conversation about, and I just pushed back and challenged, like, what would be the purpose of him even entertaining that, right? And and his response was like, yo, man, if I was talking,
I'm gonna turn my camera off on this part, bro.
Yeah, if I was talking to such and such and so and so, you know, I probably would have got a different perspective that would have pushed me to go explore that option. So now you done gave me something to think about, and that's the point that I'm making about having somebody in your space that could challenge you, push you, and hold you accountable. If your circle is not doing that, then what's the purpose of it? What are you doing?
Okay.
All right, Courtney, did I get you?
Yes, you did.
Okay. All right, I want to try to tie this all together. So make it make sense, right? So
Make it make sense.
So you have somebody that commands respect. They feel like they need respect or they're not getting respect. And the people within their circle are just egging them on, telling them what they need to hear, encouraging toxic behavior, and so forth. Is it safe to say that these particular people are the ones that are pointing the finger? We'll start with you, Kay.
Do I think that people are pointing like in a toxic circle? Are they typically the ones that are pointing the finger at somebody else?
Yeah. So, you know, basically like the people that don't get the respect that they deserve, the people within that circle are encouraging like the bad behavior. They're not telling them when they're wrong. They're not holding them accountable. Are these the people that are likely to point the finger?
Yes, for sure. I think definitely if you surround yourself with the same exact type of people and you all kind of have the same mindset, it's like all for one and one for all type of situation. So no matter if you're right or wrong, they're going to ride with you.
Say that again.
I think that
say that again, that part.
No matter if they're right or wrong, they're going to ride with you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a thing that happens. I'm sure we've all seen it at some point or another.
Chicago Rilla.
Diga man.
Coming to you. People that don't get the respect that they deserve or they complain about not getting respect. The people that surround them are encouraging the toxic behavior. They're not holding them accountable, only telling them what they're doing right and not telling what they're doing wrong. Are these the people that point the finger?
When you say point the finger, what do you mean point the finger?
Saying that it's everybody else.
Oh. Man, I don't know that they're objective enough to
Come on.
they point the finger or not. Like, I don't think they're objective enough to even know if they're the ones pointing the finger and blaming everybody else. So I think the person that's claiming they're not getting respect and then, you know, they're in a cipher full of people that, you know, think like them and not holding them accountable. That's, to me, that's a recipe for disaster. You know what I'm saying? Is you're encouraging people to continue down the same path, and insanity is, you know, the literal definition is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Like, you know, it's a recipe for disaster.
Courtney, are these people pointing the finger?
Yes, absolutely. I think it's amazing where, and I see this a lot where people are demanding respect, however, they're not giving it. So you attract who you are. The energy that you give off is going to be the energy that's going to be given back to you. So if someone is wanting or deems respect as important to them, they have to look at on both sides. Well, all right, I want to be respected, so therefore I have to respect you. I have to respect people. I can't be calling people names, disrespecting them, but then I am afforded the luxury of having respect. Like, that's not how it goes. And people see how you move. People see how you move in person. People see how you move on the internet. If you're disrespectful, then it's going to bring the energy of people to disrespect you. You are how you carry yourself. So I think it's super silly to ask for respect, but then you don't give it on the same end. And I see that all the time, and sometimes it's quite amazing. And then they circle themselves around people that are disrespectful. They circle themselves around people that would say, yeah, girl, he better respect you. She better respect you. But then once you disrespect someone else, yeah, you better say that. Yeah, they deserve that. So I was like, no, you can't have it both ways. If you want respect, then you have to uphold yourself as respectful and respect everybody else. And what I see is that everyone, loves to play a victim. And, you are what you are what you give out. If you're disrespectful, you disrespect people, but you don't think that they're not going to disrespect you. So maybe you need to change your circle of people, change your attitude. If you want respect, then hold yourself accountable and be respectful.
I hear that. Anton, this little description sounds all too familiar, but I want to come to you. Are these the people that typically point the finger?
Yeah, I guess, but I'm just still caught up and stuck on this whole idea of respect. Because I know people that are incredibly respectful to other people and they get disrespected anyway. I know it's the whole saying, even when it comes to relationships, it's the whole idea behind nice guys finish last. Like, just because you're a nice person or just because you're respectful, that does not mean that it's going to be reciprocated. And so the thing that we're not taking into account in this conversation is that you have another human or humans on the other side of that equation, and you cannot control their behavior. So just because you put something out specifically does not mean, in my opinion, that you should expect anything back from anybody. The only person that you can hold accountable is yourself. And you got to move according to what it is that you're looking to generate, regardless of what you receive on the other end of that equation. And so you got to be intentional and stop caring about what other people think, and stop worrying about who in your inner circle, and stop surrounding yourself with people that you feel like makes you feel good instead of the people that's actually pushing you to be more successful. And stop surrounding yourself with people that point the finger on your behalf where they got your back. I don't need nobody to have my back, yo. The only person I need, and that does not mean that I don't have some dope people around me, but I certainly do not need any validation from anybody in order to stay on my grind, stay on my focus, stay on my purpose, move forward, and be the person that I'm supposed to be, regardless of how other people view me. Stop worrying about how other people talk about you and look at you. Why are you in the comments? Why are you going to these social media sites to see what they posting about you? Like, it don't even matter, because when it comes back down to it, they still got to go home, look at themselves in the mirror, get in the bed, and be by themselves with that booger wolf that they sitting right next to that is not adding value to their life. So live and be the person that you're supposed to be, and stop being focused on anybody that respects you. It don't even mean nothing. Real talk.
Do you think that's different saying that as a man than a woman having those same type of, can kind of stick with that? Because I think with women, we tend to be a little bit more emotional. People can get in our ear a lot. That's why biblically they say you have to have a covering over you. And that's usually the man, because if you're not covered correctly, then that will affect a woman. We're easily susceptible to a lot of comments, a lot of things. So would that be the same, what you're saying, as far as a woman knowing a woman's nature?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I got a 13-year-old daughter, and the conversation that I was having with her the day before yesterday, riding in the car, stop focusing on what other people are saying or doing, and make sure that you on your grind, make sure you on your purpose, make sure you align yourself with the things that me and your mother is teaching you. I think it affects women even more so, because I think that women are more likely to have a pack type of mentality in which they're influenced by the other women that they're surrounded by, whereas men are, in my opinion, a little bit more likely to break off in order to do their thing, because they understand that it's all on me. Whereas women are more codependent or dependent on other people, whether it be in a relationship, whether it be their friendships, the way that they was raised, all of this stuff. They're trained to be a little bit more dependent on other people, whether it be emotionally or whatever, right? But in general, you got to do your thing. You're going to have to detach from this whole mentality of groupthink and do what's best for you. That's all that matters.
It's a great way to take us out. If you guys are just tuning in, welcome to Lapeef, Let's Talk. Make sure you guys get the likes up. The likes are down a lot. So get the likes up. Make sure you guys share. Moving on to our second topic. Our second topic is, do women deserve protection from everything? Do women deserve protection from
Absolutely not.
everything?
Jesus Christ. Shit for the streets, bro. Shit for the streets. But you know what? I'm getting ahead of myself. Go ahead. Do you?
All right. I'm going to start with you, Chicago Rella. Do women deserve protection from everything?
How did I know that?
I was waiting on this. How did I
know that? So let's do it. So my first answer, do women deserve protection from everything? No. That's the short of it. Here's the context of it. Do women deserve protection? Period. Yes. Now, does Tamika Mallory deserve protection? Does Kiesha, the young sister from Kansas, do she deserve protection? Yeah. And I find it interesting. Because I made this post in the group the other day. This whole conversation that spilled over from last week. And I know you huffing and puffing. I know it burns your hide that I would even fix my face to say that a woman deserves protection outside.
It don't. It don't. I mean, everybody need a captain to come save them. I agree with you.
So I don't care. So this is the thing that I find interesting. I made this post, and in the post, I included a video from everybody's favorite YouTuber. And in that video, he talked about, which again, for me, I agree with 95% of what the brother says.
Who's the YouTuber?
Oh, Kevin Samuels. So now, oh, for sure, 1000%. So now in the video, he gives examples of him being in New York and coming to the aid and assist of a sister on the train. He talked about a number of other things. He talked about the reason why men train and how he's a jiu-jitsu kung fu master. And I find it rich. Nobody out of all the supporters for Brother Samuels, nobody came and said, yo, that's cap. I ain't see nobody in the comments. Yo, you a simp for that. I ain't hear none of that.
Why do you need validation from Kevin?
It ain't about validation. It's not.
I don't agree with everything.
One at a time, y'all. One at a time. Go ahead, Chicago. What were you saying?
No. I wanted to hear what Anton said, because he said something about
I don't agree with everything that anybody says. Just because I rock with Kev on a lot of different subjects don't mean, even when him and I have conversations, like, the idea is that we differ on a lot of different things. I don't agree with everything that anybody says. So I don't need anybody in the comments, whether it's here or in his videos or anybody, to validate my mindset behind why I think what I think. I don't care what Kev's video said.
I have no idea. I have no idea or what the purpose of you,
because you prefaced what you wanted to say by saying that you posted that video as though it meant anything outside of what you think.
Well, so let me button it up then, because I'm on the panel with y'all, but I also understand there's an entire audience that I'm addressing as well. So your position is clear. We get it. You don't agree with everything. I said I don't agree with everything he says either. But I thought it was rich that there was no opposition, not in his YouTube comments, not on the Facebook group, regarding his position. And he made a very clear case. When you look at other groups historically, They have always defended and protected their women. Full stop. And you could come back and we can address the behaviors of what you did later, right? But I'm not about to allow somebody to come in and disrespect you in front of me. Period. Point blank. End of sentence. So, do women deserve protection from everything? No. That's my short answer of it. If a woman has put herself in a position and she's instigated something, whatever's going to happen, whatever's coming with that, she'll have to deal with the brunt of it. I'll never let it in my presence. I won't let it get too far. And there's different forms of protection. Protection isn't always you going out playing superhero. One example that he gave in the video that I thought was smart. Somebody was talking to a woman out of pocket, and all he did was get up from where he was, went over and sat right next to her. That's a form of protection. You know why? Because it puts the other brother on notice. Now, if we as black men want to take the position that, hey, baby girl, you fend for yourself, or you and whoever your tribe is, that's on y'all. You can take that position, and that may very well work for you until you get that nigga wake up call.
Rilla.
Oh my God.
Let me ask you a question.
Hold
Because
on, Court.
Okay.
Hold on, Court.
Mm-hmm.
1 second. So does that extend to online too? You protect women online also?
You could break it down however you want. The principle and the premise, wherever I see bullying or disrespect or whatever, I'm gonna push back on it. Now, what that looks like for you and what in your world, Anton. Listen, man, let me tell you something.
So is that a yes or a no?
Wherever the disrespect occurs.
So it's a yes.
Period. Yeah.
Don't do period, bro. That's
really.
Jesus Christ.
Well,
Okay, I got you. Go ahead, Court.
All right, Courtney. Do women deserve protection from everything?
Well, I had a question first for Rilla, because he specifically was talking about as far as other group of people not protect their women. So let me ask you this question. Is there any other group of people that their women are saying they don't need them to protect them? Is there any other group of people where women are saying, I don't need a man for protection? I can fend, I can do it myself. I don't need you, period.
I got you on that. And I think we've heard women say that about black women say that about black men for ages. So I'll concede that point, but I have a different perspective from a man's perspective. Everything for me rises and falls on leadership. So at the end of the day, the man is still responsible for leading. I thought about it all day today. The man is still responsible for leading.
You didn't answer the question.
I did. I said.
Your answer was do you hear that from other women saying that they don't need their man?
No, I haven't heard it from other women in other ethnicities.
But then you hear us on the other side saying we need protection. But then again, we're saying, but I don't need you. Which one is it?
That I've heard. Listen, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know that I've heard women say we need protection. What I've heard them
protect all black women. You haven't heard that moniker?
Come on, fam.
That's a thing. Every protect black women. However, black women say I don't need you.
We gonna be real or what?
Which one is it?
You're asking me which one? I'm not. I can't speak.
Oh, really?
You're asking me.
Oh, God.
So, Anton, if you heard it, then you've heard it. JR?
It's a contradiction.
Oh, God.
It's a contradiction. So, do I believe we deserve to be protected by everything? Absolutely not. I don't believe that. Women put ourselves in predicaments that has consequences that we can't be protected from. In a fairy tale world, do I think men should protect women? If women are living in their role and in their purpose and being a lady, of course, it's men are already wanting to, because it's innate to be a protector, and it's innate for a woman to want to be protected. But we're outside of our roles. We're wanting to be a man telling you I don't need you, but then on the other hand saying that I need protection. So it's confusion, just like I said last week about women being emotional and don't be trying to understand women because the logic is off. I can't want protection from you, but then say I don't need you.
Rilla, what you drinking on,
Make it
fam?
make sense.
What you sipping on, bro?
That's cute, Anton. This is water.
Okay, I'm coming to you, Kay.
So I mean,
cute,
that's
though.
honestly that's really my purpose, and I think it's funny with this whole protect Black women because I'm trying to figure out what they want protection from. Because what I know, who protects you is your king and the lead of your household. He's your covering. That's your protection. So maybe we need to focus on that, and then we wouldn't feel that we're not protected. But I love it when people call me one-sided because that movement is Black women, protect Black women, protect Black women. What about the Black man? The same people that would tell me I'm so one-sided and protect all Black women, have you heard them say a thing about protecting Black men? Right? No, but I'm one-sided. Okay.
Kay, do women deserve protection from everything?
From everything, no. I think that in terms, because Courtney mentioned Black women, so and that was kind of where I was going to go with it in terms of the answer. I think that there needs to be structures in place so that women in general, I guess, can feel more protected. But that would Black men would kind of have to be the leaders of the community in a way that is not currently happening. When women say they want to be protected, I don't always think that it means you see me like outside with a flat tire, oh my goodness, come help. Although I have been in that situation and every single time a Black man helps me. Like, I think men just naturally want to protect and help women a lot of the time, in my experience. But I do think that a lot of times when women say something like protect Black women or protect women or whatever, sometimes it's really super simple. It's not even like jump in front of a bullet for me. It's more so like just don't make disparaging comments for no reason. Like, that's it. Now, if someone wants to speak their mind, of course they can, but I don't think it's always like, you know, put yourself in harm's way for me. I don't think that women who put themselves in dangerous situations and things like that, maybe it's a domestic dispute, I don't think a man should jump in and help because you can get killed, you know, whatever. I think that if you don't even know those people, you should call the authorities and that could be your way of helping. But I just feel like many men naturally just want to jump in and help women when they see them in distress and protect them when they see them in some kind of distress. I also think that if a woman does not put herself in a situation, kind of like what Chicago was saying earlier, like, I don't know, for example, men will ask, like, do you need me to walk you to your car? Like if they see you alone or something like that, just very simple things. I don't think it's always like so deep that women want you to jump in front of like a bus to stop them from getting hit. It's sometimes way more simple than that.
Bro, they don't even want your protection. You hear them? Like, they don't even want you caping for them. But for some reason, you feel the need to be the end all be all for these chicks that's not even looking for your help, man.
Anton, what are you talking about? Like, I get so confused when wait, hold on.
You know what I'm talking about. You are not confused. You are a very wise man.
Wait. I get real confused when you come with these words like, yo, you see these chicks, bro, they don't even want you.
Because I'm trying to reach you. I'm genuinely concerned.
Here's the deal. You're using words and verbiage, and you're taking a sample size of the two sisters, and however they're saying, cool. And in your world, Anton, I get it. That works, brother. You're awesome. You're phenomenal. You're fantabulous. Great. And listen, bro, if you don't want to protect nothing,
you're thinking emotionally right now, bro. Like, that's we seriously, bro.
And listen, Anton,
listen, take
one at a time, one at a time, fellas, one at a time.
What difference would it make? What difference would it make to you?
What do you mean? What difference do it make to me?
Because you get on the show, and then when a dude gets to speak, and you're like, you emotional. What's that supposed to do?
Because then you start taking the conversation personal, in that you're unable to separate me from the point that I'm making. And
No,
the point that I'm making is that
me, right? You addressed me, right? So I'm responding to you.
because you represent a narrative that I see so many guys have that don't even realize that they don't even want your protection, bro. Like, they don't want what you're offering. And a lot of times, no, let's be real. How many times have you honestly seen in real life? Because I've seen it multiple times. I've seen a dude step in to interject on behalf of a woman that put herself in a situation, and he wind up on the tail end, on the bad end of that stick. And we're not even talking about just in general in life, right? Online, like, you feel the need to stop other guys from dealing with women in the way that women subject themselves to these online forums, because, again, you don't have to be on there. You don't have to participate. You don't have to do any of it. You don't even have to respond. You can even hit the block button. Wow, that's crazy. Like, you can block these people, but you feel the need to address these dudes and step in on behalf of these women that you don't even know in real life, and you think that makes sense?
Wait. What are you talking about? What situation are you talking about? What dude did I step to over a female?
Dude, you specifically said on the last show that and you said it on this show, because I asked you. I just asked you when you said yes. I said, does that extend to being online or no? And you said yeah.
I said wherever the disrespect occurs, but I'm asking you specific because you keep referencing this. Like, this is the second show where you said you feel the need to jump in and check these dudes, right? So I'm asking you, what's the specific example that you seen me checking somebody online over a female?
I just heard you say that you would check some. You are coming to the defense of somebody online. You just said it. I don't need to see it. You said it.
Okay.
You just said it. Did you not?
Got you. You asked me, does that include?
So you don't want to answer the question now?
Oh, I said I'm rephrasing what you just asked me, right? You said,
oh my God. See, you talking in circles to try to change the narrative of the conversation, bro. But I'm gonna keep it right here. And the point is that you don't have to step outside of anybody that you're responsible for, especially online, in order to ensure that people are protected, bro. These women are just fine. They are just fine. And as a matter of fact, they might put you in a compromising position to get your head knocked off. Like, be careful, bro. That's all I'm saying, bro. Be careful. You don't need to cape for none of these chicks, bro.
I want to ask you guys. I want to put a scenario. So let's just say hypothetically on the show, right? We have somebody on the show, and they on the show. You got comments, you got YouTube, Facebook, just the public in general. Do you feel like people should be respected on the panel, or that the panel should respect people that's speaking on the panel? Okay.
Yeah, I think that we should try to respect each other on the panel. The last one was my first one, and I was slightly confused about how the talking in turn thing goes. And, I got some feedback that that's not how it should be. So I could take that. So to be respectful to each other is kind of letting each other have the room to answer, politely interjecting. Definitely we can still have a heated, debate or go back and forth or whatever. But I think just showing people that common courtesy is important on the panel, amongst panel members, just to have a productive show that stays kind of on topic, I guess you could say.
What about the public? We have no control over the public, right?
Absolutely not.
So is there a way that the panel can protect somebody that's on the panel? So can the men on the panel protect the women on the panel from the public?
From the public? No, because after that first show I was on, several people insinuated that, I was really a man. Like, there was like a lot of stuff. And I didn't really expect any of you all to come in there and say anything about that, because, y'all know I'm not a man. Like, I don't know. I guess I just didn't care.
Can the man on the panel
Ain't nobody answering questions tonight, JR. I don't know what's going on,
dancing
bro.
around. Chicago Rilla, I'm asking you that question. Can the men on the panel protect the women on the panel from the public?
So can the men on the panel protect the women on the panel from the public? No, you cannot protect the women from the public. But I do think that you can set ground rules, rules of engagement, and you can set boundaries. And if you want to say it like that, that's a form of protection. So in other words,
can you explain how you do that?
Sure. I'll give you a perfect example. So the example where, because this is where all this is kind of coming from with this whole conversation around protection. The caller that called in and called Tawana out of her name, right? The way that you set boundaries in that situation, hey callers, hey supporters, we love y'all fam. You can't be calling people out of their name. Keep your comments or your questions respectful. Push back on the premise, push back on the idea, push back on the thought, but be mindful and respectful of people. Simple.
Courtney.
I'll be sipping too, though. My bad.
Courtney, you on mute. Okay, I'm gonna ask you that same question. Can the men on the panel protect? I'm sorry. Can the men on the panel protect the women on the panel from the public?
No.
So how does that look?
No, you can't. This platform goes out to thousands of people. JR take calls from people everywhere. He can't necessarily scrub to see what they're going to say. If they say something disrespectful, I might cut them off, but you move on. And I've been watching the show. I've been a fan of the show for a minute. And even talking about this one and that particular comment, that was one comment. One out of the how many episodes, how many hours of talk? One. And I find it amazing. It's just that one. Now it's just an uproar. What are you going to do? You can't protect trolls. I get trolled all day on the Facebook page. I would love to talk about that. I definitely will. But I get trolled all day. Am I making random videos? Sometimes I got to chill. Like, okay, I block whomever because they like to keep going hours on end. But I can't let that ruin or mess up my circle. My circle has been there for me, and I'm going to rock with them. And something happened. Hey, I didn't like that. How can we move forward? Blah, blah, blah. That's how you roll professionally. And that's what should have been done if we're talking about this, what has happened.
And
so, no, you can't control thousands of people looking at you saying some stuff.
Right.
You can't.
I got you. And so I'm going to pose the same question. Can the men on the panel protect the women on the panel from the public?
No, bro. This is the internet. And more importantly, this platform, this is Sparta, bro. You come to spar here. It is what it is. I don't want to stop nobody in the comments from saying what they want to say. Yo, if you got smoke for me, you got smoke for me. It is what it is. If you got if you don't like something that somebody say, it is what it is. It comes with the territory. You can't be a visible person on the internet and then try to censor people from moving a certain type of way when they say what they want to say or they move how they want to move. Now, JR as a moderator can say, oh, okay, I'm gonna hang up on this person because he said whatever he said, but then you move forward. And if you can't strengthen your argument, you are a reflection of the things that you say and nobody else. Nobody else is responsible for what you say except for yourself. So I'm gonna hold myself accountable based off of what I say and own that. Whatever comes along with that, it is what it is. But on the other side of that, I'm not going to try to censor people from saying whatever it is that they want to say. It just comes with the territory. When you on this platform, yo, this is gladiators. We gladiators. And you know what you're getting into when you sign up. Otherwise, you are more than welcome to remove yourself and move forward. Nobody cares about what anybody thinks. They only want to say what they want to say. And let the people rock. Let them say what they want to say. Let them crack jokes. Let them have smoke for you. Let them compliment you. Whatever comes along with it. But, bro, this is the internet. And it ain't no rules. Ain't no rules on the internet. It goes how it goes.
Chicago Rilla, how you feel about what was said?
Yeah, I'm really trying to think about that because, see.
I want you to be honest, too.
Yeah, I'm about to. Because that train of thought, that's what leads to people showing up at these celebrity houses in the middle of the night. ready to do something terrible to them.
Oh my God.
So I see you rolling your eyes, and it's like it's funny to me when
This
you
is
say
so
something
silly.
about the basic premise and mindset. Now who's getting
What
it?
does that have to do with what's happening in the chat, bro? We're not talking about real life. We're talking about on the show, on the platform.
How
Why do you
feel
keep
here?
no,
Wait,
hold on. Because
how do you
you keep
feel?
One
moving
at
the
a time.
goal.
One at a time, fellas. One at a
You
time.
keep moving the goalposts in order to try to support your argument. And instead of just saying, yo, okay, you know what? I might be off on that. I got to rethink it. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to be off, bro. Like, you don't have to keep moving the goalposts. If somebody show up at your house, you bust them down. It just is what it is. You shouldn't be here. That's protection on a whole nother level. We're not talking about that. We talking about somebody on the internet saying what they want to say or calling into a show. That's a whole nother conversation.
Listen, that's what
All right, go ahead, Chicago Rilla. Go ahead.
Listen, that's what you think. And in your insulated world, Anton, that works, right? That works. Man, you know how you listen. Let me tell you something. Some of these cats that, you know, I get it. Like there's another platform and his live chat is real gladiator. They say whatever and he lets it run wild, right? And he has a co-host and she's been threatened, this, that, whatever, whoop-de-whoop, but she keeps something with her. So it is what it is. My thing is this, bro. A lot of stuff, sometimes when there's a male presence, sometimes when a cat knows, like, okay, there's another dude that might be a brother, might be uncle, I don't know the relationship. Sometimes cats fall back. In that Facebook group alone, and you could grab however many caps you want to grab, bro. And you can put them all on at the same time. Does not move me off mine one single solitary bit. I've lived the way that I live for years.
I know you're gonna live. You're gonna stay in your life. I know that. I see that.
You say I'm gonna say what?
You're gonna stay in your life. You're gonna rock with it till it fall off. Like you're gonna rock with it.
What lie?
Go ahead, make your point.
No. What
internet, lie? Facebook group, continue.
What lie? What I was saying in reference to the Facebook group is that the dynamic has shifted in the group, right? The conversations have changed in the group. Now, this cat's still kind of wilding out in there, and you can't control everyone and everything. But I'm curious to know, since we do all this talk about men staying in their purpose, staying in their lane, doing this, that, and the third, since when did, whether you decide to protect a woman out of integrity and character, since when did that, when was that contingent on how the woman carries herself or how she behaves? Like, at what point?
Wait. You saying that a woman and how she behaves that has?
I'm not talking about a woman that instigates a situation and brings the situation on herself. Because if I listen to you talk, let you tell it, no woman deserves protection from you outside of your cipher.
What is the question? What's the question?
My question was, if you were a man on your square in your purpose, right? Since when did the woman, since when did the woman when did it become contingent on the woman whether you move in your integrity and in your character? You still not
what?
Question?
Yes, because a woman's behavior is absolutely going to dictate how it is that she gets protected. Mm-hmm. So, for example, I made this illustration before. One of the panelists that we had very, very, very early in the show, it was Jill, right? Jillian, I think that's her name. I don't know her personally. And she kept making this argument, y'all don't protect us, black men don't protect us, so on and so forth, blah, blah, blah. And then she was like, if I want to go out and protest at 12 or 1 in the morning or whatever like that, then why ain't none of the men showing up when I do the group chat and say, why y'all ain't protecting us? And then I said, well, what about the guy that said that you shouldn't be out at 1 or 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning? And she said, and then she shut up because they don't want to be protected. They want to be protected how they want to be protected, not according to what you offer as protection, because protection comes in so many different forms. So my point just becomes, bro, it always becomes that to answer your question, a woman's behavior and how she moves is very much dependent on the level of protection that she receives. Absolutely.
No. I'm talking about the fact that, again, if I listen to you, you're not protecting anybody outside of your cipher. So if you were to see a rally or a Tamika Mallory or whatever, if something happens, let the chips fall where they may.
I
right?
don't even know who you're referring to, bro. I'm gonna be honest.
I know.
Like I don't even know who you're referring to.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, I'm not saying that to be disrespectful or anything like that. I'm pretty sure I get it.
I don't watch the news.
Okay, so let me ask you: is that fair that you don't protect anyone outside of your cipher?
Yes, that's the police's job. That's not my job.
I mean,
it's people that get paid for that.
Sure.
Let me go ahead, Kate, and then I'll say something.
Okay. So I think that
I call the police for you though. I'll make sure that they.
Is that a form of protection?
I got 911 on speed dial. I'm gonna get them to your location.
Is that a form of protection?
It is.
Is that a form of you protecting a woman if you call the police?
Yeah, I'm gonna call the police. I'm not gonna jump in the middle though at all. Not even a little bit.
Is that a form of you protecting a woman if you call the police?
Yo, my protection extends to humans. It has nothing to do with women specifically, bro.
That's cool.
If I see somebody in trouble, whether it's a man or a chick or whatever, I'm gonna call 911. That's what the number is for.
So that's a yes. I got you.
Go ahead, Kate.
So Anton, let's say it's not like a legal, like a crime that's being committed, right? Would you, I guess,
if it's not a
step in
crime,
and say
what you
something?
need protection for?
I'm just asking. So like if you see a woman out, or if a woman says, can you just watch me while I walk to my car? It's dark. It's nighttime, whatever. Would you do that? Or you're just like, nope.
Yeah, I'll watch her and then I'll pull out my phone and have it on speed dial.
Okay. So you would, okay. So
I'm cool with that.
So basically you just aren't jumping in any fights.
No, I'm not jumping in a fight for a chick.
I think that a lot of people would agree with that. Although there are lots of men who do.
More power to them.
Yeah,
God bless you. You are an important resource in the community. That is not my role.
Yeah, there's lots of men who would do that. There's a lot of men who would never do that. And I think that that's your decision. People get to decide what they're going to jump into. You have to weigh all your options. Is it going to be dangerous for you, etc.? Is it a waste of your time because she's just going to continue doing whatever she was doing in the first place? All of that. Chicago was saying earlier, when y'all were talking about the online thing, it made me wonder. So you're saying that you're kind of criticizing or critiquing his actions of maybe stepping in when someone calls a woman a name or something.
I don't understand it. I really don't. I'm looking to understand, but at the same time, I am criticizing it because what is communicated to me or what has been communicated to me makes no sense to me. So I still don't understand the logic behind it or why it happens. But I also, we can agree to disagree, and I'm cool with that too.
Do you think he should stop, or you're just trying to find out why?
I think he should do whatever he feel is best, but I'm definitely not participating on that end. You can forget that. That's dead to me.
Well, let me ask a question, and specifically, Kay, you can answer this too, because we're talking about protect Black women and should they be protected. Do women have a responsibility on also helping in the protection of Black women?
Yes.
Is it just on the men?
No, I think all Black people should be trying to create a structure of protection for each other. Like we got to work together on that.
So what does that look like? How can a Black woman help protect another Black woman?
Black women can help protect other Black women by trying to be respectful. If they get out of pocket or something, apologize. Making sure that you're not trying to, I guess, gang up on somebody, things like that. If you see a woman in trouble, call the police. If you see a woman who is clearly in like a messed up situation, like at a bar or something like that, kind of try to get her, over by you, things like that. There's a lot of different ways you can protect somebody.
Do you see that being exhibited today, whether we're talking about our group or now? Do you see that being exhibited where another woman can protect another Black woman by making sure they're respected, not name calling or anything like that? Do you see that being exhibited today as far as women with women?
Some women. Some women, but
Do you
definitely
call them-
not
Mhm.
not to the degree that it should,
It should
be.
be. And so if you see that, do you call it out?
If I see someone like disrespecting someone, calling them a name or something like that, or using derogatory terminology for women or something like that, yeah, I'll say something about it.
Okay.
All right. That was a kind of a lot of heat there, man. You guys okay? Really, you good? I'm seeing some lips turned up. I'm seeing some heavy breathing.
1,000%. 1,000%.
Man, I'm about to play a little video just to kind of loosen things up a little bit.
Bro, these women out here talking about black women. Girl, you better protect me. Look at this shit. What the fuck is we doing now? I gotta get my shit together.
Welcome to
JR, hold on, wait, JR. I'm curious. What are your thoughts, bro?
as far as what? The
This
question.
whole subject about protecting women.
When it comes to protecting women, I do agree that in some circumstances you can't, like, it's not your place. You know, it's best to call 911 when in certain situations. I do think that if a woman was to ask me to walk her to a car, I'll walk her to a car. If my kids, my lady, like whomever, if they need some type of protection, whether it's be walking to the car, whether it's something happening to them in real time, like, I will protect them. But like, I can understand both sides. I can understand that you don't need to put yourself in certain situations, especially if it's something dealing with a man. If a man is hitting a woman, back in the day, you could probably do something like that. But now with everybody just shooting first, it's best just to call 911.
Okay.
All right.
That's right.
If you're just tuning in, welcome to Lapeef, Let's Talk. Make sure you guys get these likes up. Moving on to our third topic, which is intent versus impact. Intent versus impact. Intent is the purpose, determined to do something, and impact is having a strong effect on someone or something. This is a good topic because I often feel as though some people focus on the impact and not the intent, and vice versa. Some people focus on the intent and not the impact, but they do play together. So let's talk about it. Intent versus impact. I'm gonna start with you, Kay. What are your thoughts?
I think intent is really important. I know that things are even perceived as worse when the intent is negative or if there's ill intent. Even if it's the exact same impact, people view the impact as worse if they know the intent was ill. I read something about that before. I know that, like, even in law, intent and impact, it's like murder versus manslaughter. The sentence for involuntary manslaughter is way less than first degree murder or second degree murder, because the intent was not to kill. So intent is extremely, extremely important. I like if I'm walking down the street and someone accidentally steps on my shoe, it's like, oh, okay, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. But if someone just walks up and steps on my foot, like, it's a whole different situation. So impact is important and should definitely be acknowledged to the victim of said, action. But the intention is really important as well.
Courtney,
But how can you? But hold on, JR. But how can you determine what the intent is?
You can't.
It depends. I think it depends. You can ask depending on the relationship with the person, or you can use your judgment and know if something was just a mistake or if something was purposefully done to hurt you or something like that. It depends. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes there's just no way to know. But sometimes you can have a conversation, like if it's your friend or family member or something like that. or even online or something, you can just ask. Or I think asking is the best way when you have the ability to do so. But sometimes you do have to use your judgment because that's not always the case. You can't always ask.
Did she answer your question?
I disagree.
You disagree with what?
I think impact is more important than intent. The only intent that I can for sure know is mine. I don't know what your intent is, but the impact is the action of that intent. So if it's impactful in my life, it doesn't necessarily matter what the intent was. So I think we need to focus on that. I think a lot of times people's intent might be good, but it's a biblical saying, the roads to hell is paved with good intentions. So you can have all this greatness, but if it's impactful and it's a negative on my life, then your intent doesn't matter. So making moves, it not being, logically thought of, making moves emotionally, even though your intent wasn't to hurt. However, the impact is hurtful and it's going to hurt you. And who knows, how in the long run, how that might be impactful. You need to look at that. So before your intent, you need to think, you need to see, am I moving off emotions? If I am, let me get someone that's unbiased to kind of help me make a decision before I make something rash where I'm doing it intentfully right out of emotions, but the impact is so damaging that it can damage a whole lot of other stuff than what you meant it for. So impact is extremely more important than your intent. Many times have you heard, well, my intentions was good. Well, my intentions were good. Well, it doesn't matter. You stepped in my shoes are right now messed up because you wasn't looking the correct way. So now I'm out. Are you going to pay for my shoes? You're not going to pay for the impact of you being, frivolously or just doing something without thinking. So no, your impact matters more. So therefore, make sure your intent is clear. It's just, and think of what might happen of that outcome. And I think that's a big problem. We don't think before we do stuff. We don't get good counsel before we do stuff. We just do it off willy-nilly and think, well, because I didn't mean it, that the impact is going to lessen the blow. No, it doesn't. Sometimes sorry doesn't cut it.
Sometimes they don't even say sorry.
That's real. And they don't.
AK, you want to respond or follow up?
Yeah. I think it depends on the thing, right? Because when you were talking, Courtney, I'm thinking of like some horrible thing that caused like some terrible damage. When you were kind of talking, really? I was thinking about like something that would be really impactful. In that case, I would definitely agree that the impact is the biggest thing. Like either way, that has caused irreparable damage to my whatever, right? So in that case, me as the victim of whatever the thing is, the impact is more important. But I think in general, if we're talking about more lighthearted things, I think intent matters a lot. I guess I'll say it like that. And if you're a victim of something, you get to decide which is more important for you. That is your right. If you're the victim of anything, you get to decide how you feel about it. Like the perpetrator of the thing cannot assign that feeling to you and say, oh, well, my intention was this. They can let you know their intentions so that maybe that might make you feel a little bit better. But at the end of the day, you get to decide how you feel about said impact.
But sometimes the impact doesn't necessarily just affect another person. The impact will affect you. And even though your intent is well, that impact could indirectly or directly affect you. And so that's kind of like the problem. It's like, no, you think before you move. Don't move off emotions. Emotions is always going to get you into something that you don't want. Like we don't use our head enough. We don't go to our circle to get opinions enough before we move. But intent, I don't really care about your intent. The impact is more important because that's the action of what has happened. You can have your good intent all together, but however, the impact, if it's negatively affecting my life, that's the core issue.
Why do you think that murder has a harsher sentence than manslaughter?
What's the impact of murder? Someone lost a life.
Manslaughter, they lost a life too.
Right. The impact is more important. Your intent might not have been to kill. And so it might have a lesser sentence, but on those victims, that parents that might have lost a son off manslaughter, would it have mattered if it was manslaughter or murder in the first degree? The son is still dead. That impact still holds true.
I agree with that. I'm saying, why do you think that the sentence is harsher for murder than it is for manslaughter? Because it is. You go to jail for longer for murder than for involuntary manslaughter, even though the person is dead.
Yeah,
both times.
That's law. And I mean, you can debate that with good lawyers or whatever, but what is the impact? The impact is a loss of life. The impact is someone could have lost a parent. Someone could have lost a son. That impact, regardless of how long they stay in jail, doesn't change the impact of the situation that is a life gone.
I'm going to go to Chicago Rilla. Intent versus impact. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's going to be real short for me. I think, men tend to look at results, tend to be result driven. So you're going to look at the impact versus the intent. And again, to give Anton his just due and his props, when you watch his channel, he talks a lot about, being able to purpose and things of that nature. And so, in that regard, I'll give you this, bro. You are consistent with what you stand for and what you stand on. You're definitely consistent. You can go, I think you started your channel in 2015. You can go all the way back then to the Who is Anton Daniels video, and you see where the basic framework for your logic in terms of nobody cares about your excuses. Nobody cares about why this didn't happen or why did that happen. Nobody cares about any of that. So a lot of times, to be honest, in how that plays out in real life, that intent becomes irrelevant. In most cases, it becomes irrelevant. Like, you could have, again, to Courtney's point, you can have good intentions, but the impact, what we are left with, what the stain is, what the tattoo and residue of those actions, what they cause, like, that's what you're going to pay attention to. And that's what a lot of times you either reap the rewards of the impact, or you deal with the consequences and have to repair the impact in some instances. So for me personally, I tend to look at the impact more so than the intent. And I do understand that they work hand in hand. Like, you begin with the intent and build on that, but the focus always have to be at the end of that tunnel. What is the impact?
Anton, intent versus impact. What are your thoughts?
First, let me say I appreciate you, Rilla, for giving me that shout out, bro. But it is, and I'm still consistent with that same narrative, is that the only thing that matters is the results. I think that when we talk about sentencing and things like that, I think that that's more or less something that they're doing to appease people, right? Because you also have to take into account that politicians and lawmakers and all of these people generally making these decisions are literally just a reflection of the people that vote for them. So if you think about the people that's in office and the decisions that they make, or whether or not you agree with them or disagree with them, they are just a reflection of the communities that they serve. So if you take that out of the equation, somebody's son is still dead. And I don't care how much you meant to do the right thing, because I hear a lot of people say, oh, I meant this, or I would have did this, or I really wanted to be. Yo, you did a lot of stuff that was wrong, and it resulted in bad results. And the only thing that matters for me, the only thing that matters is the results. Like, we can talk about all of the intent, we can talk about how you got there, we can, because honestly, like, even if you talk about success stories, whether you talking about somebody that you follow or that you like, the only reason you rocking with them in the first place is because they have the results. Then you go back and look at the journey and you say, okay, well, how did you get there? Or let me figure out why it is that I like you and how I can attach myself to your story and use that in my life in order to elevate myself. Whether you're looking at it from a positive perspective or a negative perspective, people care about the results first, and then they start to attach themselves to the story or the journey or why you did what you did as a result of the narrative that you paint behind it. But the only thing that matters to me, the only thing that matters is the results, is winners and is losers. And you only get one chance to do the right thing in most situations, especially as it relates to life. You get one chance, you get one shot. And the only thing that's going to matter at the end of it is not the intent, but the results that came along with it. That's it for me. It's only the results, the impact.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate it. You guys are just tuning in. Welcome to Lapeef, Let's Talk. Make sure you guys get these likes up. I see the likes are down. They're not matching up to the people that's currently viewing. So let's get these likes up. Play another video for you guys.
The voice in my head doesn't lie. And I feel like we often take what we tell ourselves, that voice in our head, as the law. Mm-hmm. It's true. And so the idea, you really have to have someone like yourself tell you, well, how do you know that? And then all of a sudden you realize you've quite literally framed an entire narrative, a storyline, and thus the way that you act and interact in the world off of a faulty premise that you've never challenged.
Yep. Just accept it. Yeah. So like when I hear that, the person in the comments saying that, it doesn't lie, I have an exact opposite belief about the voice in our head. I call it the inner bully. And I think all it does is tell us lies, right? Like it lies to us about ourselves, about other people's behavior, to get us to believe that, it's to feel kind of a negative way about ourselves or experiences, right? It wants to beat us up. It wants to make us feel terrible like a real bully. But because it comes from, inside of us, we accept it as truth and as fact, and we don't question it. And I'm saying the inner bully, we've got to tell ourselves it is absolutely a liar. So that if I'm, looking at someone's behavior and I now have, created a narrative about what that meant, I've got to say, that's my inner bully trying to get me to feel negatively about this. Maybe I will end up being right, but I definitely don't have enough evidence to know that that's true.
Kyle Gorilla, when you saw that little clip, what were your thoughts?
I think the key takeaway was when the brother spoke about like the voice in our head telling us lies, and that it challenged me to think about it in a different way. I actually agree with what he was saying. There's somebody that says good or bad, whatever. Like if it's a compliment or a disagreement or whatever, don't believe none of it, right? Like stay focused on the task. So that even goes for the voice in our heads, right? We tell ourselves, we're doing good, you're great, you're excellent at this, and the whole time, like you're not objectively assessing yourself. So that for me, that was the key takeaway. What the brother actually said, in opposition to what the sister was saying about the voice in our heads.
Anton, when you saw that clip, what were your thoughts?
My thoughts was I didn't know what he was talking about, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I didn't know what he was talking about. I didn't know what the point was that he was trying to make. He went into the voices in his heads and all. I said, all right, I'm gonna just leave this to the rest of the panel because this has no bearing on anything that I think whatsoever. You should probably just go to the next person, and then I'll just evaluate my perspective based off of the additional insight that they give. But I have no idea what. Like I'm off. I'm tuned out on that.
That was the only one.
Okay, I'm trying to pull up because they had a caption to it, and I guess you guys need a little bit more context surrounding it.
That was funny. I know the same thing. I was like, what is it? The voices in the head? What's going on?
I don't know what he was saying. I just got tapped out. I was like, all right, well, I guess JR gonna expound a little bit more, and then he did. Yeah, I was like, all right, well, I mean, listen. I'm a lifetime C student. I am not gonna pretend to be smarter than I am. I feel like I am the greatest C student of all time. High school, college, never did more than a 2.9, 9.3. That's it, bro. So listen, you're gonna have to bring it to me, bring it down like a little child.
All right. I found the video. Here's the caption. So it says, the voice inside of your head lies. Have you ever challenged the voice inside of your head? When we believe the lies we tell ourselves, it affects the way we show up in the world. The gag is we might be limiting our potential because we believe a faulty premise.
That
Is that
makes a
better?
lot more sense.
Okay.
Yes.
Read it again. The voice inside of our heads lies. Have you ever challenged the voice inside of your head? When we believe the lies we tell ourselves, it affects the way we show up in the world. The gag is we might be limiting our potential because we believe a faulty premise. Does that make sense now? Okay.
Yeah. The video made sense. I think it was about, I mean, I feel like all he was saying is that we have to make sure that we are thinking through our own thoughts. So we have to introspect and say, you know what, am I building this up more than it needs to be? Am I letting this first idea just run wild and now I have a negative view about something that may not have even been negative, or vice versa? Am I letting this idea of, oh, I'm this or I'm that go to my head and now I'm not putting in as much work as I should? It's all about just questioning yourself, making sure that you're being as objective as you can in terms of how you show up in the world, so that you are not just creating scenarios in your head or creating a narrative in your own mind that's going to ultimately hold you back and maybe put you in some situations that may not be favorable. So yeah, I think, yeah, that made sense. I definitely understood what he was saying.
All right. My apologies for not giving a little bit more context. Courtney, when you saw that clip, what were your thoughts?
I'm glad you gave more context to it. I think people are in their head a little bit too much, and it's hard to kind of be in your head thinking something that you are, but you are honestly not. Yeah, I would honestly stress, don't listen to the voices in your head. They will usually lead you astray because it's not going to be honest with you. A lot of times we're not honest with ourselves. So I know we talked about a circle. I'm always going to shoot for therapy. I don't know if the people in the video had that, but listening to the voices in your head, or you commenting about who you are and giving yourself the best. I mean, it's not, because you're not going to be objective with it. You're not going to want to say something about you that hurt or want to change yourself unless you kind of look outside yourself and get a little bit help to realize who you really are. I've lied to myself many a time. Girl, yeah, you look good in that dress. Knowing I didn't, but just lying to myself, just trying to go, make myself feel better. So no, get out your head. Let's talk about it. Let's connect. Let's have relationship building with other people that hold you accountable, that will let you know, girl, take that dress off. You look a mess. So yeah, get out your head. I'm not with that. I'm with relationships and talking to people and getting real life results and things like that. So yeah, get out your head.
All right. Anton, I know you kind of didn't really get it, but it's move on to the topic. The reason I played that video is because what we have here is we have toxic women giving toxic women advice. Let me say it again.
Oh, I get that part.
I get that.
Toxic women giving toxic women advice. So that what I got from the clip is that these women are not paying attention to the voice that's in their head. They are just reacting out of emotion a lot of times. And what kills me is that we have a lot of women that are championing this bad behavior, this toxic behavior. And we had a lot of that going on within the past couple of weeks. And quite frankly, I'm tired of them, fed up with it. How can you allow this woman to represent herself like this, to embarrass herself like this, and be okay with it? It's not right. What we have is toxic women giving other women that are toxic advice. Make it make sense. It doesn't work. Let's get into this topic. I'm gonna start with you, Chicago Rilla. Let's speak on these toxic women giving toxic women advice.
I actually thought you was going super, super deep in the toxic woman being the voice inside of her head giving her cell phone advice. That's where I thought you was going initially. But here's the thing. When I think about toxic women giving toxic women advice, I think about this episode of Boondocks, right? Aaron McGruder for president. But the Killer Kung Fu Wolf Bish, right? That episode, if anybody's seen this episode of Boondocks, it was Aisha Tyler and Tachina Arnold, right? And Aisha Tyler was just super toxic, and she was on a date with Granddad or whatever. The whole time she's on this date and it's getting serious and the relationship is developing, Tachina Arnold is on the other line. Girl, you should do this. Did you check this? Did you do this? Did you do that? The end result, the net of it, and the end result of it was at the end, she's so frazzled and rattled by what Tachina Arnold, the advice she had been giving her the whole time, the girl winds up blowing herself up at the end of the episode. So now, if to translate that into real life, you talk about the inner circle, who you have, who you share energy and space with. If it's an echo chamber, right? And these are the women that are, encouraging you. Yeah, girl, you don't need no man. Or yeah, girl, you look good. They just need to accept you as you are. They send you on a blank mission. And if you're not introspective enough to objectively look at yourself, or at least know enough that you need to change your circle, to me, it's a recipe for disaster. It's a recipe for disaster. And the flip side of it, I don't see it changing. I don't see it changing. To me, it looks like it's producing more and more generations.
You don't see what changing.
Women not giving women toxic messages and advice. I don't see that part of it changing.
Let me ask you this: Why is it the men speaking up on it then? If you know it's toxic behavior and it's happening right in front of our faces, then why aren't men speaking up on it?
So here's the deal: I think men are speaking up on it, and again,
how?
Well, so here's the deal: men have said to women, like I think y'all had this conversation a while ago about who holds women accountable, right? And so, because I think you were saying, like, if men can't say it, women can't say it, then who can say it to you, right? And so I think, like, whether it's mother, sister, auntie, whatever, I think men have, or girlfriend, especially in a relationship situation, men say something and women immediately push back, right? Regardless of that direction, there's pushback to it. Now, what was said on broadcast I was listening to last night, he was talking to a woman, and he was literally telling her things are not going to change until women start holding women accountable. It's not going to change. I don't see the toxic woman not giving advice to toxic women or whatever. I don't see that pattern changing until the women with the sense and the elders in the community start holding other women accountable.
Okay. Go ahead, Courtney.
Okay. So you think women holding women accountable is going to make a change?
Yeah.
Okay. Being on this platform, I've been out here for a few weeks, and I wholeheartedly believe that women need to be held accountable. And I hold women accountable because I'm holding myself accountable as well. However, when we're talking about toxic women and they've been around each other, me holding women accountable has gotten me attacked by women. Women don't want to change. So when another woman speaks up about change, then they get the sign language just like men. And it's not about what I'm saying. They try to attack you as a person. I don't know if that's the nature of women or why it's like that. But no one can hold women accountable, because whether a man does it or whether a woman does it, they get attacked, try to be, get insulted, or, and that's because I feel it every single day. I was at the nail shop yesterday getting my little nails done, and I get an at. I'm like, who added me in the group? Someone this random little lady that comes in my messages every single day just text me, shut up. I didn't even talk. I didn't said anything. And the lady said, shut up. And I'm like, well, why? Because I'm holding you accountable. I'm telling women, hey, it's not the men that are just messing it up. It's us, because we have not changed. Men has changed. Just looking at the stats, 20 years ago, men were the most in jail and less in prison. Right now, 20 years, it's flipped. It's majority of men that are in college than in prison. So I see a change in men. I'm not seeing the same positive as far as being a woman and Black woman. I'm not seeing a change. We're getting worse. We're not getting married. We're getting married less. But when I say that, I get attacked. And it's the same toxic women that want to rally up and want to bully a woman that's not here out of spite. I'm not here to degrade anyone. I've never done that.
But you
I'm
ain't
just
even got to worry about that because
opinion.
half of them chicks
Well,
look
I mean,
like fullbacks anyway.
yeah,
All of
and
them
I
look
mean,
like
it's
they play for the
fine.
Chicago Bears. Half of them look like they play for the Chicago Bears, and that's why they be getting so angry. So you got to take into account the people that are getting angry,
Right.
though, because when they do talk, just go and look at their profile, look at them shoulders, look at that back, and then see how they
But
running through them pylons. You know what I'm saying? Don't even worry about it.
Well, I'm not worried about it. It's just the behavior that I'm seeing that women exhibit.
I saw you laughing.
And it's not going to be any change if these are the behaviors that we exhibit and we don't check the behavior. And that's why I'm bringing it up. And that's why a little bit what Kay and I talk, and I see your hand, Kay, and you can speak. But that's why I was asking you at the beginning, how do you want Black men to protect Black women, but are Black women doing the same for our own? And we're not. Just because I have a difference of opinion doesn't mean I get attacked, but that's what women do.
We don't care. We don't care about fullbacks. We don't care about centers that play for the Chicago Bears. They can protect themselves. We're not even gonna worry about it.
All right, go ahead, Kay.
Well, I want to hear Kay. Kay, I definitely want to hear about some of the behavior that you've exhibited too.
I was just gonna say that earlier we just talked about the whole online thing and how online just is. So, I mean, what do you want somebody to do? We just said that people can't be protected online. Right. So like, if you're seeing disrespectful comments in the group, what do you want to happen when you just said, and I think Anton, you did too, about, we're not about to moderate that, but now it's like you're calling the certain people names and all types of stuff. When you also just told Rilla not to protect, like, it seems really contradictory. Like, if people are saying rude things online, that's just what they're doing. Just like you said earlier, when the question was asked, can the men protect the women online? So online, if you don't want to respond, don't. If you want to close your computer, close it. Like Anton said, with stuff like that, I mean, I'm not sure what needs to happen.
Well, it's all about, I think, accountability, where your behavior online, your behavior in person, I mean, your behavior is your behavior. And if we're talking about like online and in the group, and what I was stating before, which is unacceptable behavior, I mean, it's unacceptable to be disrespectful to anyone, whether man or woman. If you can't have a solid foundation of a conversation, then you adding someone multiple hours on end is not good. And I'm just bringing that up because that was a situation that happened. And I think we can talk about it.
You told me to add you. I didn't even know you were in the group because, you weren't really posting much. I didn't even know you were in the group. Mm-hmm. I saw a video, like, how I'm wondering when we can let this go, but this might be the final conversation about it, hopefully. But there was a video posted, like a short clip, you know how he posted the little clips. You said something about an alpha male, and hell, at this point, I don't even remember. I think one of the words was placating or something, and then I forget the other word, but whatever. So I commented on the post about that and about anthropology or biology and anthropology classes, and you said at me. I didn't know you were in the group. So when you came and said at me, I started adding you.
Yeah, you did. So you made a post about me because I might have misspoke a word.
I think that I think that the original post where the comments were got deleted. And I thought that you were telling me to @ you because you were going to answer the questions. So I made another post that asked the exact same like questions that I was wondering about to begin with. I ask people questions in the group all the time.
I understand. And this is again where I'm talking about intent and impact. And this is how we say a teachable moment. That's fine. So you made a post about me. You just kept saying my name. I commented and said, hey, if there's something that you want to talk to me about, you can @ me. It wasn't to be combative. It was you posted something as if to try to maybe embarrass me or something because I said something wrong, which is fine. I'm going to say things wrong because I'm human and I'm on here to learn. So I'm going to say something wrong. And if it's something that you honestly had to, wanted to know about me, the intent would have been to @ me personally. Courtney, what you mean by this, girl? But the impact of you doing that and kept posting. And then I said, well, @ me, but it wasn't just an @ you continuously added me for literally 5 hours while I said, hey, Kay, I feel like this is a little bit overboard. You can contact me personally or, but if not, you got to chill. Like it's got to stop.
So would you rather?
Hold on. If I can, let me finish.
Go ahead. Okay? Go ahead.
Thank you. So you did not. You continuously for 5 hours adding me. And not only you, but when we're talking about these toxic women, these women that you hang around, well, not hang around with, but you guys are always adding and liking, these toxic women along with you kept harassing me where I said, y'all have to stop. And you specifically said, well, if you're just tired of me doing this, then why don't you block me? And I said, well, that's a good idea. And I blocked you because I got tired of it. 5 hours was tremendously too much for someone that you don't know. And then I blocked you. And then what continued to happen days on end, you and the toxic women that continuously still do it today kept adding me and commenting and then it's like, come on.
Can you say that I've added you since that day? Have I added you since that day?
One at a time, ladies.
Please, okay? Because it needs to be addressed. Bad behavior needs to be addressed so we can fix it. So these women and with you kept doing it for days in. After I blocked, then you make fun of me for blocking you. And I was like, well, you told me to do it. Like that bad behavior can't exist. We can't say protect Black women, but then when a Black woman has another different perspective, then you try to embarrass her. You try to disrespect her. And you do these on days in on a public platform where thousands of people are seeing. You can't have it one way and then not do it another way. It's wrong. And with Anton, when he was talking about respect, and I kind of understood it because he was like, you know what, people are going to respect, even if you hold yourself respectful, some people are still going to disrespect you. And that rung so hard to me. And I listened so hard because I was like, you're right. No matter how I try to come into a group or how I present myself, some people are just not going to like you. Some people are not just going to respect you just because I color my hair or I wear a hoop, and that's fine. And I'm learning that and I'm getting that. But however, when bad behavior persists, and I see that that's one problem that women have with being catty amongst Black women for no apparent reason. You don't know me to be. That's something that we need to address and fix. You can't protect all Black women except if she has something different or another view, then let's go at her, let's humiliate her and make her feel like trash. That's not right. And it needs to be addressed and corrected.
So we need to make sure that people on the internet aren't making other people on the internet feel like trash. Just to be clear.
I'll be clear. We need to address, if we are able to address the people that are doing it. So therefore, Kay, I'm addressing you. You did it. You should not. And I hope that behavior changes where someone has something different. You're not adding them for 5 hours on an Easter Sunday when people should be with their family. You shouldn't do it.
How you feel about Chicago, Rilla?
Wait, before, just real quick.
Go ahead.
If you felt terrible and everything, did not mean, I don't know you. I didn't want you to feel terrible. And I know that the impact, you just talked about impact versus intent. So I understand you expressing your feelings.
Mm-hmm.
As Anton, you and as y'all were saying earlier, though, online, people get to talk how they want. Now, I did not curse you out. I didn't call you a name. If anyone sees my activity in the group, they know that I ask questions. The reason that I added you is because you told me to.
One time. Not
well,
for 5 hours, Kay. What was the intent?
The intent
What's
was
the
to get
intent of adding someone continuously for 5 hours straight and then having other people chime in to do the
I
exact
didn't have
same
anybody
thing?
chime in.
You-
People are their own people.
Rilla, who do you call the Powder Puff Girls? So let's not be true. You're part of that. You're a part of girls that bully.
Do you think that I text people or call them like, hey, get on this post?
I don't know what you do. All I know is that the impact
Well, I'm telling
of it
you,
all,
I'm not.
It's the impact. The impact of what you do.
I
Rilla already
understand.
has a name for you guys. It's called the Powder Puff. That's what he does, and that's what you guys do. And it's the impact. The intent might be to laugh and key, but you don't know what impact that is. That's what we need to change.
I understand, and you've been thinking about this post for a long time, so I know that it was affecting you.
Let me just be very clear. I haven't thought about it. I don't think about you guys at all. Like I said, I blocked you. And I only unblocked you because I wanted to see what your intent was for the last show when Kevin Samuels got on. When he gets on, I listen because he always dropped jewels. But I was like, okay, well, let me see her intentions. So I unblocked you just to see what you would have done on the Facebook page. And what happened was the same intent that I took from it.
Maybe you should block me again.
You ridiculed. You told, I made him cuss, key. And it's not funny. He dropped amazing jewels. It was amazing conversations, but it was the messages that you put was just, honestly, the intent was not in good faith.
Courtney, you cannot police my online activity.
I definitely cannot, but I can address it once you...
Okay, you just went on and on about the Tawana situation and why people shouldn't be protective of people online, and the world is full of the online community.
I didn't say Tawana's name at all.
Okay, but we were just talking about that. I think Chicago might have brought it up about her being called a B word. You didn't mention the caller and the
but I'm not talking about Tawana. I'm just saying you can't protect people that's calling in. Someone might call the B word, get hung up on, but that's it. They can do that to me.
Mm-hmm. And you also mentioned comments in the group, and that it would just basically be, it's not the panel's really duty to moderate that type of thing.
Correct.
But now, so what are you trying to say that I need to do? Because you just said it was okay for people to comment. This is the internet.
I didn't say it's okay to harass anyone.
You weren't being harassed. Harassed?
If you all right, I'm not.
Yeah, don't.
If you're adding someone for 5 hours straight and then they block you and you're still doing it 2-3 days after the fact, what would you call that?
I wasn't adding you 2 or 3 days after the fact.
I
was blocked.
Okay. So again, the question is, let's forget the 2 or 3 days later. If you're adding someone for 5 hours straight and they ask you to leave them alone and you refused, what would you call that?
The internet. Like y'all said earlier.
But protect Black women, right? Keep the same energy on and off the internet. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Put this up.
You good, Courtney? Can that be over, or are we gonna talk about it forever?
We've never talked about it.
This
is the first time that we're talking about it, but I think it's a conversation that needs to be had. And I think that for, again, the Powder Puff Girls or whatever you call them, I mean, it's like, have normal conversations. And I don't know why women do that to each other. I have no idea why that we're so catty. And we're vicious sometimes online or to one another, but we want to be protected. Like it's an oxymoron. And that's an elephant in a room. You want to be protected, but you don't protect others, and you don't respect others.
If you don't want to be added, don't come tell somebody to at you. That's a really simple solution.
You're wilding. Okay. You can add someone, but over 5 hours is a little overwhelming.
Okay. Again, you can't police my online
That's
behavior.
fine. I'm done, hun. I don't have nothing else.
Thank you so much.
You're more than welcome. You're more than welcome.
At Chicago Rhythm, I just opened up the phone lines. I expect some calls soon, but just show thoughts in closing with this situation. Final thoughts.
Oh man, I mean, to be fair, and again, you know, I know other people's position. You can't do this, that, and the third online. I'm just being objective from the outside looking in. And I know, Kay, you know, you're my favorite cyber friend, the whole nine. When I saw that going on in real time, it was like, whoa, this is, and just from the outside looking in, like, yo, this is a bit much. Then the Powerpuff Girls, not Powerpuff.
I don't know what you call these ladies.
Them jokers know who they are, man. They vicious in there. It's gladiator school in there, man. They in there. They show up at your house, jump you, your mom, and the rat, cat, and dog. Do
they look like fullbacks?
Can I say something too?
Hey, I didn't look at their profiles, and I probably need to go back in and look, but I know some of them don't have profile pictures. I mean, I don't know.
Trolls.
Are all of their pictures from here up?
I don't know. I didn't look at them.
And there's something I want to say too that I don't think has been said, and I think is very important. Like for me, I am wholly about coupling Black folks and Black folks. I'm a champion of Black love. And one of the powder ladies, whatever you want to call them, is like a white lady.
Oh.
And as a white lady coming to me telling me what I should say to Black women and Black men. And I'm like, well, we got to stay in our lane, folks. Like, come on, white little lady. Like, I understand you have to observe, but you know, I'm about Black coupling Black folks with Black folks. White lady, you know, if you want a Black man, that's fine. There's swirler things that you can get into. I get it. But come on. Like, it's overwhelming. It's like too much. So women can't ask for something that they're not giving in return. That's all I'm saying.
Can I say this before y'all before you jump into the car, JR, just real quick? And I do want to say this in all fairness, because what I do know about Kay is that the questions that she was asking, or whatever she was doing, she does that. Like, she does that. Like, that's what she does. She will dig deep and go, and then she has her little snarky remarks, like, if you do not wish to continue, I understand, or feel free to get the last word, I understand. But what she was doing, and then what I think happened was other people gravitated around that. But
toxic.
I don't disagree with that, but what I will say about Kay is Kay don't care. She don't. If they never came and said anything, she still would have went the same route until she got an answer, or until she decided, like, I'm not gonna get an answer. Okay, I'm good on that. So that's just in all fairness. The Powerpuff, the rest of the Powerpuff Girls, how they moved, it wasn't because she elicited that behavior out of them. They just kind of, you know, the Powerpuff Girls.
Well, toxic women will follow toxic women. That's easy.
I'm putting myself on mute.
This is so funny. You should Chicago, you should DMK.
No, I'm a K is what I'm gonna do.
Don't do it for 5 hours.
You should shoot your shot, fam.
Bro, relax with that, homie. I'm in a whole relationship. Don't be
what? I didn't hear you. I didn't hear you say you was married. My bad.
Oh, I got you. I said I'm in a whole situation over here. Don't K is the homie, man.
Why y'all didn't got quiet on me?
No. K is the homie.
Oh, you guys can't hear me. We got a caller. We got
No, I couldn't hear you.
We got E Black. I mean, go ahead, E Black. My bad.
Okay. Hey, good to see y'all, man. I love to see y'all together. You know, the ladies are rocking the natural. I can smell the pink lotion and the hairspray through the camera. You know, but you know, I got to really give it to Rilla this time, man. You did something that was really flagrant. You used another man to make your point, and I'm gonna say it like this: Black people, we are not monolithic people. We admire certain people, but we do not have a single ideology amongst us. I called 2 weeks in a row disagreeing with Anton, but this time I gotta agree with him. But that doesn't mean that you get to have to say that Anton is the king of all ideas. But you brought up Kevin Samuels, and that was, I hate to say the B word, but we all know what it is. You can't do that. There's too many of us doing that, trying to bring a man down to make it all about every man's masculinity. And you was wrong for that. So I'm holding you accountable.
All right, E Black. We appreciate you calling in. All right. Welcome to Lapeef. Let's talk. You got a question or comment? Call you there?
Hey, hold on. I had to think about what E Black was saying for a minute. I listen. Nobody on this panel talking right now is an expert of whatever. This is regular people living regular everyday lives.
That's a lie. That's a lie. But go ahead, make your point.
My bad. Anton is the what's the movie? Anyway,
I don't care.
Right. So here's the deal. You have real people in real life that's existing in real time, and I just think it's amazing that everybody can defer or infer a certain opinion of another person. People quote Jordan Peterson all the time. People quote Shahrazad Ali all the time, and that's acceptable. Now another man says, "Hey, this is what I observed of this man, and I just find this, that, and the third rich, and that's a fish move." I just think that's rich. But E Black, I appreciate you holding me accountable and teaching me how to walk in manhood, brother. Thank you so much, man.
All right, go ahead, caller. You there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, what's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Joseph. I'm calling from Virginia.
That's what's up. You got a question or comment?
Yeah, I have a question for Kay. When I was listening in, I believe that you're a proponent of empowering women, right? Specifically Black women, and maybe women in general. Right? Maybe you can get clarification just in case I happen to be wrong. But be as it may, when Courtney was explaining that you kept adding her continuously and consistently, and she asked you, "Is that not harassment?" Your response was that it's merely the internet. Now, notice the fallacy and notice what you just did. Instead of addressing the action, you're telling us the place to which it actually took place. So let me put the pressure on you. Address what you just said. Is that not harassment, what you just did, in terms of doing those particular actions? Don't respond and say it was the internet, because we know what it is. Address the question head on.
On that Facebook thread, I'm not sure how many times I added Courtney, maybe a few, but definitely not like for 5 hours straight adding Courtney. So I just at Courtney every minute for 5 hours. Come on, no,
probably every 30 minutes. I was getting a couple of yours for 5 hours.
So the question that you were asking is, was that harassment? No. I mean,
what would you have to do? Okay, before you go on your tangent, what would you have to do in order to qualify that harassment? So since those particular actions are not harassment, what would you have to do in order for it to be harassment?
It would have to be legally defined as harassment. I wasn't online. You have talks with people, you at them. I mean, do you want an
I
apology,
appreciate
Courtney?
Go on to the next caller. It's clear that you're going on a tangent and you're playing tactics. So I appreciate it. You guys, you can go on to the next caller.
Okay.
Thank you for your call. And that's being disingenuous. If someone tells you to leave them alone, Kay, and you don't, that's harassment.
Well, when you said leave you alone, I said, well, block me or whatever. Bye. And then you were left alone.
Because I had to. Like, the fact that I had to tell you to leave me alone I don't understand why it's not.
Do you want an apology?
I just want changed behavior. I want us all to do better.
Have I added you since?
Well, I mean, you just found out I unblocked you, but that doesn't matter. I want better behavior. I don't want, if someone else has a difference of opinion, if it's not me, if it's Shirley Lou, I don't want that to continue. I want people to feel like they can get on this platform, say what they want to feel, say what they want to say, how they feel, what they think, and not have to feel with the repercussions of the women attacking them.
Anton,
but then on
how
the
do you
other
feel
hand,
about
that would
that?
say that it's, let's protect Black women.
How do you feel about that, Anton?
About your whole situation?
No. Just in general, protection.
Talk about the whole situation. It's a situation to talk about.
Protection in general from internet comments.
Online.
How do you feel about protection in general from internet comments?
I tell Courtney all the time. I always tell Courtney to stay out of them comments. Stay away from it. Don't even pay attention to it. Real talk. I tell Courtney, I'd be like, what is you doing? Why you care about what other people think? So on and so forth. I tell Courtney that. So Courtney has work to do as far as how she interacts with people and what it is that she takes in and the things that she consumes. On the flip side of that, I do think that everybody else needs to be accountable for their own actions. So I don't think that Courtney should care about what you saying. I do rock with the idea that she's not letting it pass, and when the opportunity came, she's addressing it head on instead of having it reserved. But I do think she has some work to do as far as whether or not she cares about what other people think. On the flip side, I think that everybody else had to be accountable for their own actions. Like for you, I think you got to look in the mirror and evaluate whether or not you're a reflection of that thing that you want people to be, or you're a reflection of the thing that you don't like. So for me, I just think that it's personal accountability. But I do tell Courtney all the time, like, don't even care about that. Don't even pay attention. Stop checking for them. I mean, real talk. Like, it was a chick. It was a chick. Like, I got people that check every once in a while. And it's a fullback in there. I think her name is Tiffany Thorne. She looked just like the devil in a dress. Just like a fat devil in a dress, too. But I think it's funny. I think she's hilarious. I think that, she got all right. I don't want to give her too much credit because then they're gonna say, Anton, you being mean. But I mean, she looked like a fullback, and I rock with her. Her shoulders is big, and if I ever get into a fight, she the person that I'm gonna jump behind. So it's cool.
Yeah. So like, how is this okay? But me asking, what do you mean by alpha male and what do you mean by placate is just terrible. But you're sitting up here laughing right now while he's calling a woman a fullback. Like, how is that okay?
She's a fullback. I think she didn't. She
I'm just trying to.
First, we have to not be disingenuous. Like, you didn't just ask a question. Like, let's stop. Like, let's be honest. It wasn't just a question. You post. You made whole post about me trying to literally embarrass me or make me feel like I was dumb or something because I misspoke in a 4-hour conversation. You didn't say anything about what I said or my content. All you said was a word that I misspoke, which is going to happen again because it's, okay.
I did. That was part of the
call. You guys got to call online.
If we're not going to be honest,
let court. Don't even worry about it.
What's up, man? I gotta stop this. Y'all going hard. Hey, I just got a comment on things. Our women want us to be in line, right? But it's like most of them, the majority of Black women are out of shape, bad attitude, just everything negative, and they want us to be 100%. Like, how we gonna be? I mean, I'm just saying, like, how are we going to pick what options do we have with you type of women? I'm just saying, like, when the majority of us is probably in shape, and the majority of the women are out of shape, they got bad attitudes and all this going on, and drama baby daddies and all this stuff. Where does the good guy fit in? That's what I'm saying.
I got an answer for that specifically. I got an answer for that. And I'm gonna address this.
That's all I was gonna
Monday night on my show.
We appreciate
even
you.
regular guys are not putting up with it no more. Like, it ain't just high value men. It's not men that make a certain amount of money. It's not none of that. Guys are no longer willing to subject themselves to this unruly behavior by these toxic women. And the ones that have been simping for a long time, that's been playing this role of, validating this bad behavior, even a lot of them is waking up. I've had no less than 10 emails from different guys since Monday that was like, you know what, Anton, I used to hate on you. I used to think a certain type of way, but you know what? I woke up. It's because I used to be super simpish. I even screenshotted some of them and put them in my story. But dudes is waking up. They not dealing with it no more. They opting out of subjecting themselves to these unruly women, and they moving on. So I salute the dudes that is saying, I'm not putting up with bad behavior no more. I'm walking in my lane, and I'm gonna do my thing, and I'm gonna wait for the woman that actually meet the expectations that I have for her. And in the meantime, I'm gonna do the work. I rock with those type of dudes.
All right. Chicago, really, what you feeling about all this?
Man, I'm really tripping on like this. What we doing? We calling. Man, we addressing lovely ladies and linebackers and.
You saying that they lovely? You consider them lovely?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to call them no bitch. I'm not going to call them.
I didn't call them that either.
No. I'm not saying you did. I'm just saying I'm not going to call them. I'm not going to call them out their name or you cast aspersions. I don't have a particular thought one way or the other. I think whatever's going on with Courtney and Kay, I agree. I hope that y'all hash it out, and this is the last time that y'all talk about it. And Courtney, keep it 1,000. I think with what Anton is telling you is 1,000% correct. Like, you could state and assert yourself and set your boundaries, but there's no guarantee you're gonna get changed behavior. The only thing you could do is stay in your lane, keep moving, hold your head, and what I'm saying, do what you got to do. But I mean, y'all keep saying it. The internet is the internet, so it is what it is. Troll City. So,
all right, we got to call him.
Hey, shout out to Tiffany Thorne. Started for the Chicago Bears back in '94.
Hey, that Facebook group, she finna like Facebook group up, boy.
Really, but here's the thing on that. Even with Anton saying
we got to call her.
Okay.
Go ahead, caller. You there?
What's going on, JR? This is Trev. I'm out of Charlotte. Just want to give a brief comment to everyone. JR, you need to get back on the Uncle Nearest. You was really doing your thing on that last week.
I'm still on it. But they're not sponsored yet, so I'm not gonna keep putting that bottle up there.
No, he's saying you were saucy last week. You were super saucy.
Appreciate it. Kay, much better job this week. You seem much more natural. Last week, like you was trying to perpetrate a particular agenda, but now I feel like yourself. So great job, sweetheart. And Anton, man, you's a fool, man. I really respect you. I love you, bro. Everybody ain't emotional, but you do your thing, though. Not to get on you. When you attack someone, they got to come back on them. Rilla, you need a cape, not no cap. You got to have a cape you put on for cap. But I respect you, bro. You're a passionate dude, and I get your point. And, you and Kay, I don't know. That's like your sister, and I respect that. But in general, one comment I like to make in the topic I think I need to talk about, I'm a well-traveled dude. I ain't no high-value man or whatever or that. But I make a little bit of money, and I'm able to get around. I've been to 7 different countries this year. And I'm at the point where I want to leave America, mainly because of the women out here. There's really no point. I'm looking at moving to Colombia, Costa Rica, and other places because those women know how to treat a man. And once you get treated by a woman in those other areas, it's like, what's the point here? But that's just in general. Women need to understand that we don't necessarily have to deal with y'all in general. I mean, I would love a black woman. I only dated a black woman my whole life. But at the end of the day, I got to do what's best for me. And so anyway, that's just something I think that needs to be talked about more. we have options. We don't have to stay in America. And when your paper's straight, you can get on. So that's all I got to say.
I appreciate you, calling.
Yeah.
Hey, Chicago, why your face turned like that, man?
My face is my face, but listen, I'm just trying to understand. I don't understand this infatuation that dudes have. But like, you know, you need a cape, or you simping, or you did like, dude. I love it. I love it because I'm gonna jump in them comments and I'm gonna get right with y'all. Right with y'all.
God bless. Hey, JR, what you putting up that ain't nobody checking for her, man. Ain't nobody checking for that.
You know, I forgot that was on there.
Ain't nobody checking for you, Otis. I ain't even mentioning that one's name no more, bro. Ain't nobody checking for her, man. Hey, the numbers is better with her on the show, man. Please get her off the screen for everybody log off. Jesus.
Anton is a whole fool. A whole fool, man.
All right, caller, you there? What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is God from out of Miami.
What's going on? You got a question, a comment for the show?
Well, the comment is, I love your show, and I pray it spreads. It sounds like something that should be on Sirius Satellite Radio. It's amazing, especially when you have kept. You guys are doing a great job. As far as protection is concerned, you cannot protect that which will not listen. So I don't know what these sisters are on, not the ones on the panel, but there's a new awakening going on, and Anton is correct. There's a lot of us just exercising our God-given rights, if you will. You guys are doing a great job. Sister Courtney, keep doing what you're doing. Sister K, you all right? Got to work on that jealousy and that ego a little bit. You might not accept what I'm saying, but got to work on that, girl. You be all right, though. Peace out, y'all.
I appreciate you calling. Thanks for the support.
Thanks, fam. We appreciate you. Hey, Kay rock with me too. Kay was on my show. We had a good conversation. Kay rock with me.
How you feeling, Kay? You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. Anton, wait a minute. I gotta ask you this. So Monday on your show, you had Kay. I thought it was a great discussion. I thought it was peeling back layers, and you was almost like in kind of like Howard Stern type mode in terms of interviewing, not the questions you was throwing. Did you put kid gloves on for that interview, for that conversation?
No. I mean, listen, my thing is, I'm not gonna paint, and this is the biggest thing that I have against that other girl that is on our show. That usually be on our show. Her name start with a T. The biggest thing is that I'm not going to paint a narrative. Like, you are who you are, and however you represent yourself and however you present yourself is exactly what it is. So when Kay was on my show the other day, she said she said what she wanted to say, and I'm not gonna go hard on her or anything like that when she didn't say anything that was out of order or nothing like that. She said what she said. It's exactly what it is. It wasn't edited. It wasn't scripted. However she presented herself, that's how she presented herself. But the thing about Kay, the one thing that I do like about Kay is that Kay does not make excuses for how other people view her. So whatever the smoke is, whether it's good or bad, she just owns it. Whereas that other lady with a T, her name started with a T, it's everybody else's fault. Everybody else's fault how they view her, all of that other type of stuff. So Kay is just, I didn't treat her with kid gloves. When Tawana was on my show, I didn't treat her with kid gloves. She was cool. She was chill. We was just slow motion. It wasn't no thing. So however you present yourself is how it's gonna go. I just go with the flow based off of how you rock. I don't try to paint.
Hey, Chicago Gorilla, do you think that when she's on the show, that it's everybody else's fault?
When who's on the show?
Tawana.
That it's everybody else's fault?
Yeah.
Nah, man. I was going hard on T with the shoot. I mean, as a fan, I'm watching and I'm in the comments or I'm calling in, wilding out. So I mean, it just is what it is. It's Lapeef, let's talk, right?
Is that a yes or no? I didn't. I might have missed that one.
Is it? No, I said no. It's not everybody's fault. No, I don't want you to miss it either. No, it's not everybody else's fault.
And I'm forcing Courtney to come on the show on Monday. So.
Oh, I'm
I'm forcing her. I told her she ain't got no choice. So.
He did say that.
All right, caller, you there? Welcome to Lapeef. Let's talk. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, how's it going, panel? My name is Kareem. I'm calling out of New York City area, South Bronx to be exact. How's everyone doing tonight?
Doing fine. About yourself?
I'm doing well. Can't complain. I had a productive day.
What's up?
I just wanted to say, I like the show tonight, and I just wanted to piggyback off of what Anton just said in regards to, us putting out, projecting certain things, and then getting upset when people portray us as such. Now, you can even look in the chat. We are all grown people, yet we talk like kids, and we wonder why we're on the bottom of the totem pole. We are parents. We look at the kids. Oh, why they act like this? I can't tell the difference between children and adults in this chat room. When you look at Black people, and no matter what age range, we all act alike. It's like we have a problem with getting older and gaining wisdom. So, for example, you said for example, Tawana's on the show. So I don't know if she's still a part of this show, but it's extremely unprofessional for someone to be a part of this show and choosing to not show up to this show, but argue in the comment section with people. But we want to be taken seriously.
You said
we want to be taken, huh? Yeah, but we want to be taken seriously as a people. We're on the bottom for a reason. It has nothing to do with white supremacy. We need to grow up. We act like
I agree with you, fam.
The retarded children of America.
Yeah.
We act like the retarded children of America, and they get mad when we get treated like that type of child.
I appreciate you.
And thank you. I appreciate you guys having me. Have a great night.
What you think about that, Kay? Your face doesn't lie. Think about what he said. We're on the bottom because we act like kids and we like the retarded children of America.
I don't use the R word, but I think. Wait, I'm confused. Oh. Yeah,
that's JR doing his thing. Don't worry about it.
I'm like, that's a new one. What in the world? I don't use the R word, but
no, come on.
No, I don't.
Come on.
But we definitely have a lot of work to do together, men and women, on our own, men on their own, women on their own, and also together cooperatively. I think that we do spend a lot of time focused on things that are trivial. And I'm not saying that I'm never focused on anything trivial. I'm not saying that at all. But I think that collectively, we just kind of need to start doing more building with each other. And instead of trying to fight against each other, we should try to come together and work on things that will create structures that will benefit us now and in the future.
Hey, should they have so in that chat? What the caller was saying, he was saying they kind of wilding in the chat, and you can't tell who's who. Think about but whoever's sometimes on another platform they say that's their audience or working people. They work a regular 9 to 5, whatever. And sometimes they dumb out in the chat just to release that tension for the day. Should they have that luxury to get in there and just dumb out for however long we run in the show and make comments and all that other good stuff?
Who was that question for?
Okay. It was for me.
I know what you think, Anton.
What do I think?
Let them rock.
What do I think?
Let them rock.
I think that people that listen, it was a guy. It was a guy that was in the group, right? And somebody that worked for me was like, "Yo, I was just going through the whole people that you coach or whatever, and I see this guy is in a group or whatever." And so I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, show me what he posted and stuff like that." And I'm not gonna call him out because I would never say anything that anybody is doing that I'm coaching, right? But long story short, he was in the group. And so I, when I talked to him, I'm like, yo, did you do this stuff that I told you to do so that we can have this conversation like we supposed to have it? Nope, didn't do it. Well, guess what? Now either get off of Facebook or get out of my coaching sessions, because I don't have time for people that don't value my time or value their time. When I care more about your success than you care about your success, then we got an issue. So, it's some people that's disappearing here and there. And it's not that we don't rock with the Facebook group, is that I need you to take care of your priorities first and then rock with the Facebook group. It has to be a cutoff point where, you grown. If you're not grinding, if you're not on your, taking care of your business and taking care of the stuff that's a priority before you start to release, then you don't need to be releasing. I don't care if you ain't been on Facebook for the last month and a half. Get on your purpose, take care of your business, then you play. But all of this playing and he and keying and all of this stuff, and you got work that you still need to be doing, that's the issue. That's why I'm not on the group. I check it once every 2 weeks. I skim through, see what the vibe is, and then that gives me content for some of the shows that I do. But if you're not on your grind and you spending all this time Twitter fingers and all this extended amount of time not really getting to your grind, that's an issue. So that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah.
Court, what you thinking?
I mean, I agree with Anton. I think it's amazing that first, the people that multiply, always are posting and commenting daily throughout the entire day. I'm like, do these people have a job? It's literally ridiculous. Like, there'll be a person that would just make comments, will have 10 posts within an hour. And I'm checking, I'm like, well, darn, every post is about the person. Okay, relax. What else do you have going on in your life besides the group, besides internet, besides being a troll, besides trying to look up people or trying to embarrass the person? What else do you have going in your life? I really think let's focus on that. Life is not just the internet. Life is relationships, building relationships, getting to know people, talking to them in face to face instead of, I'm gonna respond to everything I at you and everything. It's like, man, relax. Let's live. I don't know. I think some of the people that I've seen on our page has a lot of time, and that a lot of time could be investing in themselves.
In the gym, and them women need to be in the gym, becoming wide receivers instead of being linebackers.
I'm not going there with you.
I'm just saying, bro.
You got a lot of time because you always commenting, you always acting, you always got something negative to say. Why are these women so mad? Why are women so mad?
Hey, you guys.
Somebody tell me.
I'm gonna bring up a guest. We got Tawana.
Hey.
Hello. How are
Welcome
you?
Tawana to the show.
Hey.
What's up, Tawana?
Hello. You see the name Tawana. Chicago, really get it right.
Oh, you out of jail today? You out of jail?
I'm out of jail today. I am using the real name. How are you guys doing? Looking great.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been on the show with you, Katie, before.
I know.
This is great to see.
Yes, very.
Hey, how are you, JR?
I'm going good. How about yourself? What brings you on to the show tonight?
Well, I heard my name was being mentioned, I've had a lot of people say, Tawana, they talking about you, so I said, well, that's interesting. Why am I being talked about? I haven't been on the show. So
Really?
Let me come on. Since I need to be mentioned in order for you to stay relevant, I guess I'll come on and appearance. So That's why I'm on, No, I wanted to say hi to you guys and check in and, kind of just, see what's going on, what's happening. I guess I missed the conversation. I wish I'd have logged in at that time, but I was having some difficulties. I asked JR to send me the link via email. So yeah.
I know you got it. So I guess what's your thoughts? I mean, I know you've been kind of listening in for a little bit. I've seen you in the chats. Like, what's your thoughts about the conversation that's been going on?
I will be
honest. Be honest.
I'll be 100% honest. Like, I didn't hear a lot of the comments that was made. I'm so sorry.
Well, somebody put you on games. And somebody told you to tap in.
It's third party, so I don't want to. Like, I didn't hear what you guys were actually talking about. Like, I heard a few things, but about respect, like I caught the first like hour or so, but I didn't hear the rest of it. So fill me in. What was
Chicago Gorilla, fill in.
Fill me in. What
was so much. I don't know that.
Is there anything?
I can tell you this. Look. Here's the deal. The last caller said you was bogus for not being on the show. But then you jumping in the chat room and you arguing with folks.
Well, I'm not arguing with folks in the chat room. If you see my comments, I'm responding to some of the things that people are saying directly to me. Like, it's not like arguing. I think people just disagree with me and, disagree with whatever, or they said they wanted to hear my perspective. Most of the people are just saying like, oh, I want to know what you think about this topic, or what would you say about this topic? So it wasn't, I don't agree. I don't agree that I'm arguing with people in the chat. So what else was said?
Okay, well, since
an example of the argument that I had in chat.
Okay, well, since we have you on the show, I think that a lot of the discussion tonight was based on things happening in people's real lives, but also it was a lot of stuff was taken from the video that you posted about particularly Anton, secondary, myself, thoroughly the show. There was things that were said that you didn't feel protected. You felt that
I didn't say that I didn't feel protected. I specifically said that I didn't need protection from the panel. I said that multiple times.
Did you say that we didn't protect you?
No, I said that you don't respect me.
Kay, you seen the video. Did she say that we didn't protect her? Honest. Don't sugarcoat nothing.
No, I'm not trying to
sugarcoat. Real conversation.
I'm not going to sugarcoat. In the video, I think she said, I'm not going to be verbatim, of course, because I didn't memorize it. Mm-hmm. I think she said that she doesn't need protection from you all. She has a husband and the brothers or something like that.
But did she say that we don't protect her? That we're not doing enough? That there are things that we could do?
I didn't say that you guys.
Hold on. I'm asking Kay.
She said
Chicago Gorilla.
She did.
Yeah, I'm sitting up here thinking about it. I got love for you, but I did hear that at some point. Like there was. Okay.
She did.
That's what I want to hear. We're having real conversations right now.
Yeah, but that you weren't being protected as well.
And that's how my name came up, because you said it towards the end. And then he was like, oh, they'll, kind of try to protect Courtney. And that's how my name came up in the video, which I don't feel like my name should have.
Well, Courtney, listen, I didn't say anything specifically about you. It's just that you were an example of what I meant for support. And that's all. I didn't say that you didn't deserve to be treated the way you were treated. I didn't do that. What I said was that you can see the difference in the way you were defended or, supported versus me. That's what I said. I didn't say that you didn't deserve.
No, I didn't say that.
That was wrong. I mean,
no.
That wasn't the intent of the conversation.
And so I didn't say that at all. What they're saying, they're asking a question. Did you say that you wasn't protected? You said no. Everybody else is saying yes, and that's what I'm saying. What you stated in your video was you did say that you wasn't protected, and how that I am, quote unquote, protected more. That's what was said, and that's how my name came up on the protection part. So It was. You did say you did not need protection, but then my name came up on the protection part.
Protection, and I don't need protection from the panel, and I stand by that statement. And I did actually kind of write out my script, so I don't know if I actually said that I needed protection from them ever.
Okay, so I want to ask you this: if you don't like, if you didn't need protection, then what was the problem?
The problem. Well, here's the thing.
What was the problem?
I was responding to what was said on the show about me. So that's what happened. So at 3:51.
What was said on the show?
Well, Anton said a lot of things. He basically made inferences that I didn't deserve to be respected because of the way I talk to other individuals. He made inferences that, that he felt that, I get treated the way I deserve to be treated. Right. And that's what I should. And that's what it is. And so it was just interesting, like some of the things that were said. So I directly responded to what was said about me on the show, the last 10 minutes of the show.
So let me ask you a question.
That
so
was
you haven't regularly called me, and we haven't had conversations on how you need to do things differently on the show, and how you need to stop reading the comments, and how you need to stop paying attention to what other people are saying about you, and none of that. We ain't had none of those conversations.
I never said that we never had conversations.
He was asking,
but you never said that we did have conversations either.
Well, I didn't mention that in the video because I was responding to what you said. You pretended like we never talked. You pretended like you didn't know me.
How did I pretend like we never talked? And I specifically said in the video, I talked to Tawana. I've even had her on my show multiple times for her to say exactly what I talked to you offline regularly.
Yes.
Right. You just called me like a week and a half ago.
Exactly.
Right? And I had you on my show multiple times for you to say anything that you wanted to say and emphasize. And I'll always be telling you, like, Tawana, yo, don't worry about it. I'm up here like, really, really massaging and protecting you and saying, yo, don't worry about the comments. You moving in the right direction. All of this other type of stuff. I'm actually encouraging you and pushing for your success. And then you want to turn around and not only not mention the other side of the story that we haven't, but then you want to emphasize and say and paint this narrative like me and JR is not having your back. Like we wasn't both on the phone with you multiple times trying to ensure that you're successful and all of this other type of stuff.
Both on the show on the phone with me. Let's get that straight. You talk to me.
JR, have we not been on a three-way with this chick?
No, you have not. You have been on three-way with me. When?
Jesus Christ.
When have y'all been on three-way with me? JR, I've talked to you privately, and Anton, I've talked to you privately. Don't get me wrong. And that had nothing.
But the thing about
had nothing to do with what was said on the show about me. What was said on the show about me was you trying to have emphasis on something negative about me. When you know me outside of the show, why would you even try to highlight that about me? Why would you throw me under the bus? And
you know the thing about it is that I never nobody tried to throw you under the bus.
You never once mentioned Tawana is this person. I know her. I know her character. You never once supported that. You never once said anything about me. And when you're on the show, you talk about my man, my husband all the time. You call him names. I've never once said anything about you.
I think he a beta.
Once.
That ain't changed. I didn't change that when we was on the phone. Yo, my wife checked you straight up in the comments. Real talk.
Check me. Your wife can't check me.
Yeah, whatever. Okay. That's exactly what she did. But the point is that the same way I am offline was the exact same way I am on the show, and I don't switch up for nobody. Not one person.
You a bitch ass
nigga.
That's right.
You a bitch ass nigga.
Yo. I was in Chicago. No, bring him back. He a beta. He's still a beta. He's still a beta.
Baby. Fuck him.
You still a beta.
Yo,
Fuck him.
You still a beta.
This is the reason. You ain't.
We just having conversations. We just having conversations. Chris, we just having conversations.
I was just in Chicago.
We just having conversations. We just having conversations. Let's just have conversations, y'all.
Sure?
Let's just have conversations.
You better control that nigga. You better control him.
We just having conversations.
Don't mute me, JR. Don't mute me. Because you know what's real?
We just having conversations. Let's just have a conversation.
You know what's real though?
We don't have to involve anybody else in it. Let's just have a conversation.
Hold on, JR. Hold on, JR.
Tawana. Let's just have a conversation.
Let's be real.
Let's just have a conversation.
I got the receipts if you really want to get into it like that. You want this conversation to go that way? You want the conversation to go this way? Do you want the conversation to go this way? Real talk.
Let's just have a conversation.
You better tell him to
Let's just have a conversation.
It's gonna go bad for you. I promise you.
You better keep my fucking name out your mouth.
It's gonna go bad.
Let's just have a conversation, y'all.
It's gonna go bad.
Anton. Let's just have a conversation.
You better tell him.
Let's just have a conversation.
If he don't want to get disappointed, you better tell him to leave the room.
Let's just have a conversation, Anton. Let's just have a conversation.
I'm gonna play nice, but don't keep asking me to treat these chicks with kid gloves when they not ready for the real truth. Because I got the receipts.
You ain't got no damn proof about me. Fuck you. Fuck you.
All right, you guys.
Fuck you. Yeah.
All right, you guys.
Period. Fuck you. You don't know shit about me.
I think we're gonna get on this.
Heard about me? If he'll say,
hey, Tawana. We're gonna end it on this. We end it on this. We still got more shows to do.
Bro. Why we ending it? Do he want to know who his chick really is or what?
No, we're gonna just have a conversation. We can't have if we can't have a conversation.
This is the type of shit this nigga want to talk about. This is what y'all. This
all right, I'm gonna be my chick is saying be the bigger person, so I'm gonna be the bigger person.
I don't care nothing
be the bigger person.
What chick is saying, and don't you ever talk to me about what she's saying. Live your life. Let me live mine.
All right, just know you asked for this.
I ain't asked for shit. You talk about me behind my back. Period. That's why my nigga came on the show, because he know you just talk shit behind my back.
Hey, Chicago Gorilla, what are your thoughts?
Hey man, look, I say this is wild. Yo, Anton, I'll never see you in that space, bro. Like, bro, don't ever. I
call it what you want.
I'm saying this, like, bro, listen. I'm saying this as a man. I'm saying this as somebody that can say I have respect for you, whether I agree with your opinions or not. Don't ever let somebody get you off your square. Don't ever let somebody get you off your square. You usually compose, and you the main one that say, lower your voice, strengthen your argument. Lower your voice, strengthen your argument, bro. Like,
you know what, Chicago? You absolutely right. You absolutely right. I'm gonna make an adjustment. You're right. I can admit when I'm off.
Yeah, for sure.
You absolutely right. I'm gonna make
that straight up, bro. I'm just saying, like, I'm looking at you, and that's pain for me to see you acting like that, bro. That's not you. You normally do not do that, bro.
Man, like the whole thing is that, like we all in this together, and we got to pull through this. We had these tough. The main thing about Lapeef Let's Talk is to have these tough conversations. I understand there's a lot of emotions that's going on. We want to try to keep the emotions out, but we want to have a conversation. I thought that we would be able to have a conversation without involving other parties. If they're not a part of the panel, I just wanted just to be us to have a conversation. That's what happens often within the Black community, is that people get to yelling and the points get missed. So if we can't have a conversation about it, then we're gonna end it.
Yeah.
We don't need all that yelling, all that back and forth and all this. We got to be better than this. This is not a good look. I don't want people that come on this platform to see that this is like some type of reality TV show, even though it appears to be that way. So I understand. I mean, the thing about it is that it is real. It was a real moment, and I believe that we're gonna overcome this moment, and we're gonna get through this. One way or another. I definitely appreciate you guys. I appreciate Chicago Gorilla, Kay, Tawana, Anton, and Courtney. And yeah, it's gonna be I don't know about this one, but till next time.
Every single time, bro. No, man, you about to end the show and it's not finished, bro. Because every single and I'm not even gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not I'm not gonna. I don't want to pull no receipts like that. But the thing about it, bro, is that do you not see the pattern here, man? Every single time this chick is involved in anything, whether it's online, whether it's on this show, it's toxic, man. It's absolutely toxic. And so I don't know what you expected to happen when she came on the show. It was what it was, man. It is what it is. And yeah, I have some responsibility and some accountability to take in how I reacted to it, but I don't know, bro. I just don't know what you expected to happen. It makes no sense to me.
How you doing over there, Kay?
I'm all right. That's honestly, I think that like that specific situation is y'all's business, but I don't know. There's just so much hypocrisy. Like people are like, 1 minute it'll be like, oh my goodness, I'm so emotional. Then it's like, I'm not emotional. And then 1 minute it'll be like, I'm so logical. And then you see people getting super emotional. I just don't know. I think that the flip-flopping between emotional and logical is kind of where like some of maybe these types of problems come in. I don't know, because that's y'all's situation. But yeah, I mean, in terms of, because y'all were just talking about her in comments online and, things like that. And then she came on and it was silent. I mean, I was waiting for somebody to say whatever they needed to say.
Yeah, because we wanted her to get off whatever it is that she came on the show to say before we reacted.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it was brought up though, like even on when I was with you, Anton, Tawana was brought up. She was brought up today, and then she came, and it was just kind of like not. She didn't really get. I don't know. It started an argument, so I don't know what happened. But I just thought there would be a lot more direct talking to her since she was here.
That's funny you should say that. Was she not in the comments when you was on Anton's show going back and forth?
I don't know. I didn't. You know what?
She was.
I didn't look at
She was in my comments.
She was going back and forth.
She was in my comments.
She's been going back and forth in the comments. So it's not that it was crickets. It's like you have so much to say in the comments, but then you get on and we're like, okay, say what you got to say. She's very vocal in the Facebook group. Again, when the Powder Puff Girl, whatever you called them, is she a part of it? Is Tawana a part of it?
She
you
is.
got to ask Chicago Rilla. He inducts members. Chicago inducts members. I'm not
part of the book. Let's be very clear.
Listen, bro.
Because she's a part of the bullying.
I don't care if your man is there or not. Like I got the same perspective and narrative. It is what it is. It is what it is. And I'm not gonna go into no whole soliloquy on explaining it. Like we've been doing this show for over a year and you can see it straight through. And I was just in Chicago. I was in Chicago a week and a half ago. And I was in Chicago when he knew I was there hanging out with all of them. I was hanging out with her. I hung out with JR. I hung out with B Nix. So I'm the same. Ain't no changing to me. Ain't no hiding. I move the same way regardless, bro. So I'm gonna just leave it at that. I'm not gonna go too any deeper into it. It is what it is.
Wait, Anton.
It is what it is. That's all I'm gonna say.
Anton, real question. So you saying you pulled up to the crib and you ain't tap in?
I didn't know you. Oh yeah.
We gotta tap into Gorilla.
I'm gonna be in
Detroit. It was all business, but I'm gonna just say this, bro. And this goes for any dude and this is in general. Take it how y'all want. Check your chick, bro. And everything ain't sweet. And I'm being nice. Check your chick. Don't check me. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it at that.
All right, y'all. Well, we definitely appreciate you guys for tuning in to Lapeef Let's Talk. Again, Kay, Courtney, Chicago Real Anton. Definitely appreciate y'all. It's been a very entertaining night tonight. And yeah, it's gonna be a lot to digest, but we'll get through it. I mean, that's just how life is. You know, life comes, you never know what you're gonna get, but it's all about processing information and seeing it through. So until next time, we appreciate you guys. We out. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. More. See it.
Yeah.